From the Rink, an American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is Draw 6 on the women's side of the USA Curling National Championships. And we have got a great matchup for you this evening. One that could potentially decide who is the top seed when we get to the playoffs. The teams are ready, and you can take a look at the standings. And Anderson, Peterson, Strouse, all 4-1. And our match this evening, Team Anderson against Team Strouse. So a possibility for one of these teams to go up to 5-1. And they will move into the Page playoffs. And what happens there, the 1 and 2 seeds play each other in a semifinal that move into, or a playoff game that move into the final. 3 and 4 play for the winner to face the loser of the 1-2 game, and then we get into that semifinal to decide who will play for the 2024 Women's National Championship. A year ago, it was Tabitha Peterson. Could it be somebody different? Maybe Delaney Strouse, perhaps Sarah Anderson, because that is our matchup here this evening. And what could also be interesting here is if Strouse can beat Anderson, Anderson would have beat Peterson, Peterson beat Strouse, Strouse beat Anderson, but it also would mean 2 losses for Sarah Anderson. So here is Team Strouse, coached by Courtney Benson, Delaney Strouse, Anna O'Hara, Sydney Mullaney, and Rebecca Rogers, and they will see what they can do against Sarah Anderson's team that were able to defeat the reigning national champions Tabitha Peterson in the opener of this tournament. Sarah Anderson, her sister Taylor, Lexi Lanigan, and Leah Yavaro. So this should be a good one here, as Joe Tollison, along with 2018 Olympic gold medalist Tyler George. The other matchups, Miranda Shield against Elizabeth Cousins, Kim Rime and Tabitha Peterson, Rachel Workin against Christine McMakin. But we've got the marquee matchup here this evening, Tyler.
Yeah, huge playoff implications with this game tonight. Looking at the field coming into the week, we expected these two teams to be in not just the hunt for the Final Four, but the national championship itself. Sarah Anderson got this week started off with a huge win over Tab Peterson. They ran the table the rest of the way, save for 1 loss to Elizabeth Cousins. And for Delaney Strouse, a clean sheet except for a loss to Tab Peterson. That rivalry's been going all season long between the slams and tour events, as well as last year's national finals. So this one tonight, we expect a lot of fireworks, a lot of rocks in play. Both teams have been playing at a high level. I'd make Strouse maybe a slight favorite just based on their season, but Anderson has the big win of the week so far, something that Delaney hasn't been able to do this season, 0-3 against Tab Peterson.
And Delaney Strouse, not only last year's runner-up, but a 2-time junior national champion in 2020 and 2021. 2021 is when Sarah Anderson was winning a national championship, as well as she did in 2019. So we have 2 accomplished skips leading the way here this evening, and this should be fun.
Strange to think of Team Anderson as the veteran team in this matchup, but we've talked a lot about Strouse this week and the expectations that they've had over the last few years. You set a timetable for when you expect a team like this to contend for a national championship, to get into Grand Slams, and that was probably 2-3 years down the road, maybe the next Olympic quad. Here we are. Team Strouse played in the national final last year, ranked in the top 15 in the world, played in 3 Grand Slam events, a couple years ahead of where we expected them to be. Such an impressive run they've been on. Got to give a little nepotism. Dap to my sister, Courtney Benson. Worked so hard with this team, such a great fit for the squad. Got to work with Delaney and her ladies at one of the slams up in Nova Scotia with Courtney, and just really enjoyed the time with them. Such a talented team. Even with this third, Anna O'Hara, 21 years old, already one of the best shooters in the world. Incredible team. Really excited for this game tonight.
And for people who aren't familiar with the Grand Slams, you have to be top 16 in the world to go to a Grand Slam.
Yeah, it's invite only, and that's a rankings thing. So not just to get into one, but to stay in those top rankings. The season they've had a couple event wins, a couple runners-up. Fantastic finishes on tour. This will be a good one.
5, 6,
And it is Delaney Strouse who has last stone first end.
7. Whoa.
So we get underway with Leah Yavaro. And in that first match, I beg your pardon. It is Anderson with last stone first end.
Little roll out, it's fine. 10-5. 10-5.
For the Team Anderson side of things, still a young team, a lot of experience. Again,
Yep.
World Championship experience too. Sarah and Taylor with Corey Teesey.
Both of you.
All 4 of these players have worn USA on their back at some point already.
Nice.
A lot of good years in front of them, but I think they feel like they have something to prove this week too. And speaking with Lexi, a member at the Duluth Curling Club back home, a lot of fire in their bellies. They've been trying to just get over that last little hump, get themselves to a world championship. And this 4-1 start, again with that win over Peterson, making their mark.
Yep.
Definitely a contender to get on top of the podium this weekend.
Rebecca Rogers, a lot on this one
Nice. Good pair.
to hit that out. And you mentioned Lexi Lanigan, but also Leah Yavaro, and it really was the front end play on night 1 that helped a lot for Team Anderson against Team Peterson.
Yeah, we haven't seen them since that opening draw, and was so impressed with how prepared they were. Credit to Coach Earl Morris
Whoa.
for having them ready to play that first game against Tab. But as you said, Joe, the front end,
Good.
Leah Yavaro and Lexi Lanigan really dominated their positions against Becca Hamilton and Tara Peterson. Set the stage for the back end. Always makes things so much easier on your back end players when you're making shots in front of them, keeping the game simple.
Yep.
On to second shooters, and Sydney Mullaney.
Good. 9-4.
Just trading hits.
And both teams easing into this. You saw that first draw of the game by Rebecca Rogers go to the back of the 4, back 8. A lot of times you'll see the opposing skip throw a corner guard after the first stone goes that deep, but Team Anderson looking to get comfortable, just trade some hits, get a good feel for the ice, and then attack later in the game. That one rolls off, so a free look here for Sydney Mullaney. Always like getting these in the first end when you get the clean draw, just to get a good feel for the ice.
4-10. 7, 8. Whoa. 8, 9. Whoa. 7. Line's good. All you. Take a look. Take a look. 7, 8. Looks like a lot. Take a look. 13-5.
It should settle in just fine.
It's good. Good, Sid.
Nicely done by Sid.
It's great. This little roll here is good. 10-5.
And riding with them to the arena for the games at the Slam, they have some pretty interesting pump-up music too. Girls are bouncing around pretty good. Makes the old guy feel a little bit older.
Hard! Come on! Hard! Hard, T! Hard, T! No roll. Good throw, Lex.
I suppose I can say that about both teams though, working with Sarah and Taylor Anderson many years back in junior days, and same type of thing. You can feel old at just about any time listening to the music that they have going for these pregame sessions.
Are you saying they weren't asking you what was on your playlist?
I didn't offer much. I didn't think it worked very well.
Clean, push.
Now, Anna O'Hara.
Good. 10-5.
Wide open hit made by Anna.
10-5.
The most impressive thing I think with this Strouse team is the small details they go into. They read tracks so well, adjust to ice conditions.
10.
Things you don't expect to see from a younger squad.
Yep.
You see that a lot from Sarah Anderson on the flip side too. She's got such a good feel for the game.
Okay. Good. 9-5 here, Anna.
It's one of those things you can't teach. It's either there or it's not. With the ability to read ice, read lines. adjust to changing conditions.
Second stone from Anna O'Hara, and this has been about as
Push.
straightforward an end as you could get.
Push.
Yeah, this is the warm-up end pretty much for both these teams. That rolls off for Anna.
Sorry, just more.
Sarah throwing to the open side. Still content just to hit out.
We should be okay. 4. T-line. 5. Line's good. 6. Take a look.
In-turn draw for Taylor Anderson.
We're okay. 13-5. 7-8. 13-5. Good throw, Tay. Good.
Settles in the back of the 8-foot.
Yep.
And what they said was 13-5 to Tyler.
You got it.
That's pretty much what we've seen all week. A rock to the back of the rings in the mid-13s. The button has been right around 13-8 to 14.
Oh, Courtney.
Sweeping weight 14-3 to 14-5.
They're having a coffee date. I love that for them. All right, just 9-5 here. Yeah, on the nose is great.
On to skip stones.
Clean.
And the outturn from Delaney Strouse.
Clean. Yep. Clean.
Normal
Yep.
pass here from
Yep.
Delaney.
Yep.
This one right on the nose again. Well thrown.
Hey,
Both teams
nose is
looking
fine.
pretty comfortable in the early going, even with these straightforward shots.
Nine 5, okay?
And Sarah Anderson.
Yep. Queen.
Nothing different from Sarah. Outturn pass.
Queen.
Also
good throw.
right on the nose. Both teams able to bank a little time here in this first end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. You got it.
Nobody forcing the issue here either. You don't need to make something happen in an end where there really isn't any opportunity. So Laney, again, outturn, open. Wouldn't mind rolling just a little bit to the middle to make the roll out a little easier on the blank attempt.
Whoa. Clean, whoa. Push. Hurl. Hard send, you really gotta go. Hard for anything.
This one a little on the wide side from Delaney. Rolls off and
Center line.
makes the blank a little easier.
I'll give you a 9-5.
No rock to hit, but you hear Sarah Anderson saying, I want to see the center line. So good teaching point. Just because you're throwing it through doesn't mean you're not paying attention to the rock thrown. So when you get a free look, pick a line that you want to see that you're not sure about. Sarah says she wants to see the center, so she's going to throw this out turn just a hair off the center line. And she'll get a good look at this, watch the rock go all the way down and see exactly what it does.
And we've seen throughout the week one side of the ice curl different than the other. So
It's switched even on sheet C too. We've seen both sides
Hey, nice
be the
cross
one that
in.
curls more.
Good job.
We've seen both sides even up.
So blanked in, that means a 9-end game for this one between Strouse and Anderson. Second end coming up next.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
And back at American Dream. So a blanked end, so Sarah Anderson holds on to the hammer, and we start the second end with Rebecca Rogers.
I just got 14-3.
Trying to throw a tight center this time around, but
You're good.
ends up getting a little deep and going in the rings.
Farts.
Sarah electing to hit again, not throw up the corner. I think they'd like to roll away from the center and maybe set up what we call the delayed corner, meaning hit the first one, roll away, let your opponent chase that one, and then throw your corner guard up. So you're playing away from the center of the sheet.
Yep. Go and roll. Any roll.
And they're trying to roll away, but ends up
Oh, this fine.
mostly on the center.
Slightly inside roll. 10-5. You got it.
You're 10-5, so control weight a little less than normal for Rebecca Rogers, the other southpaw on the team.
10.
Her 10 is the call, so maybe just a little bit up from what they're trying to throw.
That's okay. Just kind of floated it.
Rolls off instead, so now Anderson able to throw up the corner guard.
Not much of an ad. It should be okay though. Line's good.
Rebecca.
Always straight. Hard.
So after
Yep,
clearing
keep it
that
going.
out, it's now
Keep it going. Okay, good.
Lee Yavaro gets that corner up.
there you go. After trading some hits with the initial guard from Rebecca Rogers going into the house on that first stone.
Delaney calling for this one in the house now, away from the corner guard. They want to play at least to the opposite side of the 4 foot, so if this is on the paint, they don't allow Team Anderson to use that corner.
6. Line's real good.
This will cross a little bit, just trying to sit top 4 on the opposite side.
Here. Line's pretty good. Good curl of hair.
Not a bad setup if you're Team Anderson now, as there's only one rock in play in the house, and the other is your corner guard, so 0 danger of any kind for Anderson. You like these ends as a team with hammer early in the game.
Close.
And Lexi Lanigan's
Yep.
first.
Hard. Yep.
This one
yes.
over curling. Don't think it's going to hang around. It rolls off, so now Delaney has the option to peel that corner off with no real setup, and it's a pretty easy decision. As much as it keeps things straightforward for the broadcast side of things, it is the right call from Delaney.
Clean.
In-turn peel from Sydney Delaney makes no mistake. Well thrown. Sarah still going back up top with the corner, hoping maybe they can get a nose or a flash, be able to use that rock up top. Going back to the same side for Lexi Lanigan.
3.
So at this point, with placing the guard, and
Has room.
we're past 5 stones into the end.
We're stopping. We're not in.
At this point, Sarah Anderson kind of needs a
5-1.
mistake from Delaney Strouse's side to
Okay.
see if she can create something.
If they don't get a miss from Delaney, it's going to be a blank attempt on Sarah's last shot. But the way the end started out with that first rock going in, Sarah could have elected to throw a corner right there.
Right.
But she wanted to try to hit and roll to the corner to set up the delay.
Yep.
But you can get 2 corners up for sure if you throw the first one.
Yep.
And that rollout by Lexi Lanigan is the one that basically ended this end already, because now it's just peeling out for
8-2.
Strouse. And as much as you say, well, why don't they mix things up a little more? Well, the reason they didn't is because of half misses by both teams. That first one going in from Strouse was supposed to be a center guard. And then Lexi Lanigan's hit and roll out ended up allowing Delaney Strouse to peel the corner.
Have to go a little. 2-3.
And also, again, as we said, if Sarah Anderson elects to throw the corner on the first one instead of playing the delayed corner, then we'd have more in play. But when the half misses happen on those side of things, then at high level curling, when you're expecting execution from both teams, that this is pretty much what happens.
And Taylor Anderson just slides it into the 12 and get a second stone of this in from Anna O'Hara.
A curling game that has a score already. Kim Ryan with a 2-point first end against Tabitha Peterson. For the early advantage, Miranda Scheel 1-0 over Elizabeth Cousins, and a blank over on sheet D between Workin and McMakin.
10.
And we're on our way to a second straight blanked in here.
Yep, you got it.
Well, that could be the broadcaster jinx too. They are 100% playing for a blank. This one they're trying to roll into the house off the inside. They could also just peel the outside, but they'd like to at least make Delaney Strouse have to hit one of their own stones.
That's fine.
That stays off the paint. I don't think Delaney's going to go under, just because you don't want to give up a chance for a freeze and an easy 2 or a cheap 2. So the options would be to peel that out or draw open side, and Delaney's just going to draw.
Side 4 here.
Now with where that guard is, as tight as it is, Delaney needs to make sure she gets paint on this, because it is possible Anderson could split that rock on as well as her shooter. Sit 2 with 1 shot. Obviously Delaney's not expecting to miss the rings, but that's the danger in not peeling that rock out and making sure that there's 0 opportunity for a 2-point end.
Top 4. Needs to curl. Top 4. Line's good. Line's good.
And this will not be missing the paint.
So 15, yep. Oh, just clean, you're good. That's good. Yep. Good sweep, Sid. 15-1. Good sweep.
And
So Anderson can decide if they want to have a go at the roll. You won't want to get over aggressive at it, because if you roll out, then Strouse can come around that stone and try to get a force. So taking Broom, that definitely looks like they're going to attempt to roll under the yellow. If you can make the roll, great, but this is a conservative go. Sometimes we say you take a run at it, be aggressive. This isn't one where you want to get too aggressive, because it's an extremely difficult roll, and you don't want to give your opponent a free shot at forcing by going underneath that corner guard.
so first stone on the second in for Sarah Anderson.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Whoa. Whoa.
Going to get a little bit of a roll. Let's see how far they can get it to go. So now if you're Delaney, you can take a more aggressive go.
Trying to get a force.
But again, you don't want to roll out
Yeah.
and leave that split
9-5, yeah.
on the corner guard, which Sarah will very likely
It's okay.
play.
Yeah, for sure.
Playing the out turn, going to try to roll under. Yeah, even if you can tuck just a piece,
9.5.
makes that shot a little bit
Get
more
close
interesting.
here, otherwise, nose is just fine.
Last rock for Delaney Strouse here in the second.
Very close on the roll here. Just over curls a hair at the end. Good try. And again, got to be a little bit conservative to make sure that you don't roll out and give that split opportunity. So good attempt there from Strouse. That will leave the blank attempt once again for Sarah Anderson. This time needs to clear a stone and roll out.
Sarah Anderson, last rock. Attempted blank, and we'd go on to the third with Anderson still with the hammer.
Got this one going a little bit. More than a little bit. That will be right on the beak. Definitely started that one out with that in turn. So the cheap force by Delaney Strouse.
So Anderson on the board, Strouse with the hammer, third in coming up next. And Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, is proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, Steve's Curling Supplies has all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. And right now, you can save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USA Curling at stevescurling.com. So USA Curling at checkout, go to stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Back in American Dream, and Sarah Anderson forced in the second, so 1 point, Delaney Strouse with the hammer. And Leah Yavaro gets us going with a tight center guard.
We do have our center to start. So we get a little action here, and Delaney always likes to be first in when they can. To play this out turn draw for lefty Becca Rogers. So impressed with her game as well. Really good matchup at the lead position tonight. Two of the best in the field without question. We already saw a great performance from Leah in our other game for the feature, and seen all season from Rebecca Rogers. That great draw game, and nothing different here from either one of them. Nicely placed.
Little taps, okay?
It's like a 14 here.
Would you call the force of the? Would you call that a mistake?
Oh yeah, that's.
Okay.
I mean, that's a miss. She's playing to blank, trying to roll out. So it's a better miss than a flash, obviously. But they would have liked to keep hammer. Go after the two again in the third. So small victory for Team Strouse.
Yep.
And Strouse is really a team that they're extremely efficient with hammer. Attack very well. Putting up points never been a problem for them.
Split the rain.
That gets buried at the back of the E.
A few different spots that Laney can play to here. She's looking at going open side. You could also freeze to the rock in the back of the 8 foot.
Okay.
You come to your own and tap a little bit. I don't mind going to the open side here. Spread things out a little bit.
Yep.
So second stone here from Rebecca Rogers.
And playing to the open side away from where their red stone is peeking out.
Line's good.
Shouldn't leave any double opportunity on that side of the sheet.
Whoa, line. Gotta move, gotta move.
Still hasn't gotten across the center line. Needs
Line's
to
good.
get off the center
Gotta move,
guard.
gotta move. Curl! Hard!
Interesting there that
Okay.
rock ran really
Fine.
straight.
I mean, that's
Never really crossed the center.
I think I just hit this right here.
It did bump the yellow guard over maybe another inch to cover their number one. A hair more, every little bit counts.
Fifth stone of the end comes from Lexi Lanigan.
9-5, 9.
That rock must just be biting in order to hit this in the 3-guard zone.
Hard!
Lexi playing the out turn.
Hard!
Yep.
Hard! No roll, no roll. Good.
Okay,
That's a good setup. They're controlling the front of the house. 2 tight centers. So regardless of where Delaney Strouse goes, if they go around the guards, a couple of rocks they can use for Team Anderson.
Yep.
Sydney Delaney gets her first stone of this end.
7. Stay close. 7. Whoa, gotta move.
Third
Line's
in,
good,
but
line's
first
good.
time
7.
Delaney Strouse has had the hammer after a blank in the first and a force in the second.
7. Whoa, whoa, we're so wide. 7, 8.
This one hanging out quite a ways.
Okay, can you
So I
talk
want to
to
go behind the tee line a
Yep,
little
yep,
bit.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Okay.
Sure if it's sat for second or
Heavy, I
not.
think.
It's close. You never have to worry about Delaney being honest
Good firm.
about what's happening out there.
Look at it right on the nose.
It was indeed so wide.
You got it, Lex. Let's make it here. Visualize.
So run back opportunity here for Lexi. Playing that center guard.
Sarah Anderson calling for it right on the nose.
Close. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Now looking at maybe moving both those
Whoa.
centers.
Nice shot. That's good.
Yeah, it came up a lot at the end. Does jam. Little bad break there. And now with 2 staggered centers.
What do you like? 10-5?
Little hit and roll by Strouse could put them in the driver's seat. That's really unfortunate. Great throw by Lexi Lanigan, but got a terrible result. Again, the frustration of our sport. Half an inch off of the perfect shot is the worst shot.
10-5. Push. 10-5.
I'd really like to get
Hard
this
back,
across
really
the
gotta
face
move
if they
it.
can to not jam.
Dig. Okay.
It does
All right.
jam right back.
10-4. 10-4 release.
Anderson sitting 1, the back of the 4-foot.
Sorry.
Strouse second and third.
Top 4.
Trying to get a second counter in. Again, the best guard. Another counter. And with the way those rocks are staggered in the front, be well protected.
I think we're all there.
And Sister Taylor Anderson.
Room. Way out
It's
here.
gonna slow down. It's gonna slow down.
Way out
We
here.
saw that draw from
5, 6.
Mulaney
Look, Lex.
hang out very wide. This one not going anywhere either. That's nowhere near the 4-foot right now. And that's going to slide all the way to the back 12s.
We're good.
And Joe, early in the week we talked about the
Split.
junior national team I went to Siberia with. Again, never go there, but a couple of the players in the field, but one watching at home right now too. Just got a message from Graham Fenson.
Yep.
Appreciate the viewership. Obviously, Graham has a vested interest in this game as well. Hey to the Fenson clan. Hope everyone's doing well. Bemidji, keep those pizzas going, Graham. I'm gonna stop by Dave's next time I'm up in the area.
Yep, then.
Alex,
Really gotta go then.
Pete, Rox, the fam. Hope everyone's well.
Yep, then. Whoa, other way. Yep, straight still.
Anna
Whoa,
O'Hara.
whoa, push. Everything you got, Bex. Everything you got.
And there's the
Okay,
slight
that's
roll
good.
right behind.
Yeah, that's a really
Those
good
staggered
result. That yellow rock getting As we say, extremely lonely once again. So big shot now for Taylor Anderson. If she can get this roll underneath, they'll be out of trouble at least temporarily. Needs to cross the face though. A lot of red rocks lurking.
And Taylor Anderson
Yep.
lets it go with an A turn.
Backboard weight.
Yes!
Really curling hard. They need to hold.
Close! Leah!
Good early hold on the sweep.
Leah! Hard! Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it!
Great go, Tay.
Just enough of a roll to not leave the double.
Like a 7-8.
Pretty good shot there from Taylor. Well, it looked like that rock was curling early, and Lanigan and Yavaro really held that stone.
Then they guard it.
And the couple we saw on this end on the right-hand side didn't move at all, really.
Nose it or like a small.
Yeah, I think hit it as thick as you can here, Anna.
Yeah.
12 and a half.
12 and a half. Yep.
So hack weight
Okay. Just a little more.
for Anna O'Hara.
Or 0.8 seconds.
Want to get as much of that yellow one as they can, miss the backing. If you can sit as close to nose as possible, you still have Anderson in a little bit of a jam.
Clean, yep.
And this stone from Anna O'Hara to set the stage for the skips.
Yes! Hard!
Getting close to that rock in the top of the eights.
Whoa, 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 push, push, push.
Oh, good
push,
sweep
push.
again.
Real good.
Nice shot. This be a similar shot now for Sarah Anderson to try to get that roll inside.
So let's throw that weight.
Some high-level shots right now.
Yeah.
What we expected from this game both ways. Nice weight control from O'Hara there. This cappuccino might have been a little aggressive for me right now.
Try to throw that.
Won't have to worry about being alert. Diet Dr. Pepper's taking a back seat for the time being.
Your pile's diminished a bit over there.
No, not really. There's still 2 cans back
Okay.
there and a bottle and a half.
You've got a guard there that I can't see the 2 cans.
It's protected behind the stagger. Thanks to Jeremy Zeman. So in turn, board weight hit for Sarah Anderson on a nice path here. This one jumps up a little bit. Wow. Finally found the spot where it would curl. Sits for 3rd count, I believe. Almost rolls to 4th, but now a hit to sit 2
You like that?
for Delaney Strouse.
What do you like, 10-5? I like 10-5. Okay. Yep. You got it.
Well, the decision is where you want to roll to. If you can roll to even up with the other red in the back of the 8s, there's no double. If you roll in, you're daring your opponent to play the freeze against a possible 3.
Might leave her a double, but I don't think rolling in. Yeah.
Heard might leave her a double. Not sure which way they're trying to draw.
10-5.
They're trying to roll, excuse me.
And here's Delaney Strouse.
Clean, yep. Yeah!
This one tight right out of hand.
Really gotta go!
Needs to go.
Hard! Really gotta go! Hard! All you got!
Definitely
Hard!
rolling middle. It's a matter of where it goes.
Okay,
And
that's
bumps their own out of 2nd. Just sitting 1.
Play the out turn.
Yeah, I think it's this out turn right
Yep. I agree.
Pretty easy decision
I like that throw a lot.
here. Or, I mean,
for
throw this
Sarah.
and there's no double.
It's just a matter of which turn they want to
I
play.
think you have more room for air on this side, right? Make
Yeah.
it good there.
But if we're
I
down
think they
here,
have
then she's a
backing
double.
playing the
We're
out-turn
down to
side.
this.
Yeah, because she's coming off this all day, right?
Listening in
Just
now.
thinking this might have more room for error. Like
Okay.
this. So, Taylor's LSD was, oh, I threw this side.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a bit more.
Okay, you got it, Sarah. Right here.
Top button.
So they were talking about where there's room for error on either side. If you play the out-turn draw, you have backing with that red stone.
Right.
If you play the in-turn draw, it plays into a jam. So it's a matter of which one you'd rather have and which side you feel more comfortable with the draw path. They are elected the in-turn.
Which is most of the case, but this is a subjective thing of what you consider error.
Yeah, it really comes down to which one Sarah wants to throw more. I think I like this in-turn more than the out. I don't really want to go out in the wings too much, especially with how we saw that run straight. So this one I think runs a little more true. It's got a ways to go to bury though.
Curl. Well, leave it high.
Not deep, not deep.
Yeah, they said not deep, but really probably needed to go a little farther to try to set up at least maybe a jam, but that's
I like 10-5. I'm just gonna
wide
throw it a
open
little bit cleaner, yeah.
for Delaney Strouse. Nothing but a chance for two. Just needs to hit nose, stay around the 4-foot area, that yellow stone in the back of the 8-foot, the savior for Anderson, so those other two reds won't count. Probably a nice control weight here. Thrown this shot a couple times already this end.
And Delaney Strouse, last rock of the third end, a chance to take two.
If you ever really needed it, you could probably have a go at the cross house if you get really close to the red. But just playing for two, and this has really got a curl to stick around. Well, jams on her own. They gave up a steal there. Just overthrown there with an open hit for two and ends up giving a steal of one.
Well, a mistake on a throw in the second by Sarah Anderson, although she got forced with one, and here a steal for one. So fourth end coming up, 2-0 Sarah Anderson. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. That's Warm Room Hero at curling.club. Back at the Rink and American Dream as we move into the fourth end as Sarah Anderson leading Delaney Strouse 2-0. And Leah Yavaro puts that first stone to the top of the four. And all three of these teams and the third team being Tabitha Peterson at 4-1. But really the mistake, the setback for Sarah Anderson was the loss to Elizabeth Cousins. Otherwise, Peterson lost to Anderson and Strouse lost to Peterson, so kind of puts a little pressure on Sarah Anderson to get the win here.
So Becca Rogers playing the corner guard to start the end. Start their end after that first throw by Leah Yavaro. Trying to rebound now after that missed opportunity in the third. Open hit for Delaney Strouse and just overthrew that stone. Ended up hanging out, jamming on their own and giving up a steal of one.
Kind of career path for these elite curlers is to come up through the junior programs. And as a two-time junior national champion, how much do those tournaments prepare them for the pressure of something like this?
Well, the juniors, I mean, there really isn't much comparison with the competition level usually for juniors and men's and women's, but the competition format for a national championship is basically identical with the round robin and the Page playoffs to determine the champion. And if you can get to a world championship and wear USA on your back, again, great experience for what you can accomplish in the future. The transition is the tough part, where you're starting to play in the men's and women's side while you're still playing at the end of your junior career, and then you get done with juniors, those 22, 23, 24-year-old range, where you're kind of mapping out your life outside of curling too. That's where you have to find a balance, decide how competitive you want to be, how far you want to take things. And all of these players in this game have been through that in a relatively recent time.
Gotta move. 6.
Rebecca Rogers here. That guard is on the center line, so they can't take that away, and this will just come into the house on that left-hand side.
Very well done by Rebecca Rogers. Both leads.
Try to tap this on the nose a
It's
little.
a good start to this end.
Just look for T line.
Just a draw. Yep.
Now Lexi Lanigan, you can hear Sarah Anderson just wants a little tap on the nose.
Out-turn draw from Lex.
I think we're okay. Top 8.
Trying to
Top 8. Top
nestle
12.
right up to that stone.
Clean.
Top 8.
Sounds like they don't really want to move it.
Oh,
Top 12.
clean.
Frozen.
Yep,
We're
yep.
coming.
Nice line here for Lexi.
Curl.
Little bump. Little
Curl.
bump. Little bump.
Yep, curl it. Good.
Good throw, Lex. Good call, Sarah.
A nice shot. Good start here for Lex too.
Quickly.
Delaney doesn't like the rock set up and is going to run right away, try to clear at least 2 of these if she can.
So Sydney Mullaney going to bring the heat.
Pretty close to nose here, need to hold it to make contact. Gets 2 out, but jams on their own. Still keeps 2 guards in play, so a couple options to try to set up a 2 for Strouse. Sarah's going to go right back underneath that center guard.
Now turn draw again for Lexi Lanigan.
It's about the same.
That's some room.
Top 4.
Where?
Top 4. T.
Whoa.
Top 4.
Whoa.
Coming down. Top
Whoa, never.
We can go.
No, top 8.
Looks to be there on its own. They don't want it to poke out the other side. Does just a little bit.
Hack? Or do you want to throw more? No, I barely have it. Hack?
All right, just hack weight, so
You got it.
want to get to as much of this as they can. If it ends up hitting about a half stone, might roll over towards the other yellow counter too.
Clean.
And second stone of the end coming from Sydney Mullaney.
Yep. Yep. 13. Hard.
Like 13 the call, so a little soft for the shot they're playing too. Trying to get around the guard. Does clear. Actually hit so much of it, it doesn't even roll enough to get on top of that
little
yellow.
roll's good.
Papers by, great sweep by O'Hara and Rogers.
9-5.
You got it, Tay.
Rolls open into that port for Taylor Anderson's intern hit attempt.
Yep.
Yep. Come on.
Yep.
Let's go.
Hard.
Hard. Yep.
Whoa.
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 Whoa, never.
Rolls underneath that corner.
Yeah. Let's wait.
5. 12, 5, yeah.
They'll set up a hit and roll for Delaney
5,
Strouse.
yeah. I was like, I have all of it. Just 11, 5.
Haven't really seen this line for a hit as of yet. Inside out, maybe backboard weight.
Yep. Yes.
Delaney
really
calling
gotta
the sweep
go.
immediately.
Hard.
This looks like It's a little soft too, and probably on the guard.
Okay.
Gets a piece. See if it stays in the house. It should, I think. So not the worst case.
Sorry.
Good.
Maybe just a little underthrown there from Anna.
Slid into it. Good sweep.
Open hit now for Taylor on the opposite side with the out turn.
Never, never.
Floating a little bit here.
9-3. That's fine.
Will make contact, but not going to stay on the paint. So see if
Okay, try again.
Strouse
yeah.
elects to try this hit and roll again, or
No, sorry, Sid.
looking to roll the opposite way, maybe get the double and roll.
Oh, wait. It's a little high. Oh, wait, yeah,
Really want to make sure that the shooter stays in the house, regardless if you get both out here.
9-5.
Shooter rolls off. That'll allow Anderson to go underneath the center guard again.
Yep, sorry.
Tough to make this double, clear both, and stick around too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because it seems like what you have to get both stones out, you're not going to be able to keep it in if you roll off to that outside.
Just playing a
Oh,
soft
push,
double.
Push. Hard for anything.
And definitely not
Hard,
sticking
really
around,
gotta
just
go.
hoping to get one out.
All right, Anna, that's
Does.
fine.
This will be a quick decision for
Yep.
Sarah to go under this
Perfect
center
spot,
guard
Ready in the top.
Okay.
and attack
Okay.
again.
Here, let's do pass.
I'm gonna take right here.
Okay. You got it.
Probably
Yeah,
didn't
fine.
need to chase both stones there if you're Strauss. Even just a hit
Top
and
line.
roll on the shot rock, try to get underneath, or
Yeah.
even hitting the number 2 and roll in front of the number 1. Just really
Top
tough to
line.
play that shot and get a good result
Top four is tolerance.
with
okay?
the shooter. So Anderson able to attack now once again.
So first skip stone for Sarah Anderson. And an out turn draw to play it behind the
Line's
center
really
guard.
good. Line's okay.
Room.
We got lots of room.
Still plenty of room. They need this to
Free.
turn
Room.
late. Now starting to curl.
Curl. Yep. Right here. Let's go.
See if Taylor and Lexi can
Go,
get a
go,
piece
go.
underneath
Yep.
at least. Buries enough that there's no hit and roll, so you may see Strauss elect to draw. Has the whole 4 foot.
Yeah, I
Be
was
throwing it to the
thinking that,
back
right?
of the 4s. Maybe back of the button.
I think just top four
Top
here.
four, yeah.
Full. If we can be fully buried behind this.
So
bar.
Delaney
Yep. Even on the
try to
button,
manufacture a
yeah.
skips deuce if she can.
I think that should be really close.
Okay.
You got it.
Yeah. If we're like fully buried, it will be pretty hard for them to like run what they just threw. So top four.
And Delaney Strouse with
Line's
an
good.
in-turn draw. You said back of the 4?
To bury, it probably has to get at least to the back of the button.
Line's good. It needs to curl a little
Sweepers
bit.
think this needs to go.
Really gotta curl.
Really don't want to be short, but looks like it's carrying.
Hard. It's gotta move.
Now need to finish for burying it.
Gotta go. Distance.
Doesn't matter if it's behind the tee, you really need to bury.
They're close. 14-4.
Yeah, they just kind of let it die at the end, another couple inches.
Okay, wait, that's it. You got
Maybe
about
would have taken away the opportunity for Anderson
Okay.
to play hack weight. Still can't see a lot, but definitely there. And Sarah can play this with just about whatever weight she wants. Can't even see half the stone, but you could throw up weight and pick it off.
Throw less.
You could throw hack, get a good piece of it, you can play board.
Okay, you like this room still? Yeah.
You heard 12, so she's looking for a solid hack. Need to get a
12.
pretty good piece of it with this type of weight to make sure that it goes.
Yeah, that was like a.
But really, this is just the skip's call, whatever weight they like for it. There's nothing wrong with hack or peel, whichever you want to throw.
Last rock of the fourth coming here from Sarah Anderson.
Turn side, looked like came out of her hand clean.
Yep. Whoa! Close.
Really nice track right now.
Girl!
Yeah, nice throw by Sarah. Really well done.
Good throw, Sarah.
Same thing, yeah.
So Anderson sitting 3, but last rock coming up from Delaney Strouse. She just needs to draw into the 4.
Some players, you've seen them throw enough rocks that as soon as it's out of their hand, you can kind of tell, okay, yeah, that came out pure.
Yes.
Sarah couldn't have thrown that one any better.
For a little heavy, we can always come off that side.
Delaney just needs to
be aware.
touch the 4-foot for her single against 3. The early tester for Delaney.
You got 14-4? Okay.
In turn draw to try and
Little wider.
take 1 on this last rock and keep Sarah Anderson from taking 3.
Line won't be a problem, plenty of room. Just all on the weight now, right to the tee line.
Team 1. Take a look.
It's a stop
Nice.
now.
gonna
Just
be-
soon enough.
Oh.
Nice shot by Delaney. Good enough for the 1.
1 from Delaney Strouse into 4, 2-1 Anderson with the hammer in the 5th. Into the 5th end between Delaney Strouse and Sarah Anderson here at the Rink at American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's the 2024 Women's National Curling Championships. And this is draw 6. Good center guard.
Lexi's trying to talk to me in the booth about something. I can't tell what she said. She said, Tyler, if you can hear us in the booth, tell somebody something.
Line's good. Always straight. Always straight. Yep.
To ask her after the game unless she says whatever it was again.
Yep, you got it, girls. You got it.
Happy to help if there's something I can do,
Yep.
whatever it
Hard.
is.
Hard. Come on, Tay.
So after that center guard to start the
Tay.
end
15.
from Rebecca Rogers, Sarah Anderson throwing to the open side. Trying not to get the middle congested, stretch the game to the edges. Delaney chasing right away.
Second from Rebecca Rogers for a hit and roll.
Yep. Yes! Really gotta go.
ends up on the nose.
Okay, back. Okay, I'll give you a little more, guys.
Sarah's going to try to go under this tight corner. Difficult come around draw.
Line's good.
The rock
I
that
don't think you have to go
tight
at
to the
all.
rings for Leah
Line's good.
Yavaro.
Clean, Tay. Taylor. Clean. Where?
It looks to be all there as of now.
Clean. Just Taylor. Just Taylor.
Said 7. It's at least that.
That's fine. Curl now. Curl now. Go, 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 go. Yep, yep, yep. Good.
Barry's in the back 12. That's not a bad shot with Hammer in that tight guard. Good shot by Yavaro.
Just sink one. Go around. Center. Got 13.
So on to
7
Sydney
on that.
Mulaney.
Yep. Probably 14. Yep.
Really, really wide. Gotta curl. Curl it. It's gotta move. It's gotta move off the guard at least.
Trying to follow
Hard.
with out-turn freeze, and this is really running. Seeing if O'Hara can get this to curl. Really getting it to turn. Wow, that turned a long ways. Really good job by O'Hara to get that to curl as much as it did. Didn't quite get to the freeze, but didn't look like it was going to be anywhere near it.
Heel.
Christine McMakin after a blank in the first, 1 in the second, and steals of 2 in the third and 1 in the fourth to lead 4-0 over Rachel Workin.
Yep. Yep.
Let's here we get
Yep.
fifth stone of the end
Hard.
coming from Lexi Lanigan.
Yeah, Lexi playing the peel, open up the center, taking any danger of a steal out of play, trying to. Strouse sitting 1, electing to draw under the corner, going into force mode now.
13-6.
Really early, be going underneath the corner guard. He's playing with fire, without Hammer to go under a corner. No centering play to go around.
Definitely gotta move. Really gotta move a lot. Line's getting better though.
6, 6, 7.
You saw how much O'Hara got the last one to
Line's
curl.
good. Still gotta move. Just T, girl.
Line's
Gotta
good
move.
now.
Gotta curl. 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 Yep, 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 yep. Good.
Gets a piece underneath, sitting 2.
Looking for this
Why
on the
playing with
nose.
fire, what you said.
Nose.
Well, there's not much you can accomplish going under the corner. If you're stealing, you're going to need a bad miss on the last shot, because the absolute worst case scenario for Anderson is they have to draw the 8-foot. So it's a very low ceiling play. Anderson, on the other hand, can tap those rocks around, try to set up a 2 with no danger. 2 or 3. They're playing the run. I don't really
Roll it.
like the run
Good.
as opposed to coming around and tapping. You have your corner guard. You can just bump that rock back, give yourself a wall of rocks with no danger. It's a cheap way to be able to get a 2 or a 3, and running the corner guard back, that's something you do when you don't have Hammer and you're trying to avoid giving up a big end. So not really sure. I understand Sarah playing the run there in a situation where she had all the advantage. Didn't matter that Strouse is sitting 2. Again, no rock under those corners is ever even going to be full 8-foot, so it's a 0 risk opportunity for Anderson to try to score more than 1 point.
Way over curling. Okay, whoa.
Now O'Hara trying to guard the number 1 counter, and
Hard.
really high guard.
Hard. Right.
Sorry.
It's on the right line.
Yeah.
With it as high as it is, Sarah can
bump it
come
back.
around,
Just like
hit and try to roll
just looking for a
underneath the
heavy
corner
draw.
guard.
Just back 12.
You got it, Tay.
And that'll be the challenge for Taylor Anderson.
Or just back 12 type of weight. I think they're going to throw more than that. That definitely looks like more than back 12.
Clean. Back. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Back. Whoa, Leah.
This is an easier weight to make this shot with.
Liam! No roll, no roll, no roll. Go, 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 go.
Rolls off.
That's good.
So just a little mistake on
That's fine.
the weight there from Taylor. Clears the stone, but now for Delaney,
Top 4. Okay.
probably only want to go as deep as
14-5.
top 8 because of how high that guard is. And if you're letting something out or showing any on either side, you want to show on the center side. So it plays back into a jam, and there's no opportunity to hit and roll under the corner like Taylor was just trying to do on the previous shot.
Okay, gotta move. Running, really running. Always Sid's rock.
Shouldn't be any trouble with
14.
not going out the other side.
Good. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Can they get it behind that guard?
It's well thrown to get buried. Again, so much distance between the two.
You like this turn again? Just looking for back 8, back 12.
Now just not trying to roll anymore. Now just trying to tap that rock back and sit shot rock. This is why they probably would like to have it a little higher.
Yo, Ricky! Whoa!
They're having to come around the high guard.
Liam! Liam! Curl!
Much better weight control this time from Taylor. Still looks like it's all there. This time it chips and rolls in
Nice
front
shot.
of the red.
Good job, Tay.
Second shot. Red still shot rock.
Anything?
So time for another draw for
That side.
Delaney Strouse.
Right, Chad, yeah.
This time top 8, top 4 if they can.
Mindful 8 foot here.
Yeah, if we're.
You heard Delaney, don't mind full 8. She knows she's much rather be a little shorter than a little deep. Top 8, top 4 under the guard.
Just the full 8 foot here. Yeah, it makes it hard.
Well thought out by Delaney.
Yeah.
What's her objective here?
Just coming around the guard, trying to bury, making sure you get a second rock in. Could get a cheap steal out of this. But force is worst case scenario as long as you make your last 2 here.
Line's good. Room.
And an out-turn draw.
Just top 4. Lot of room.
Plenty of room right
Top
now.
4.
Should start to curl right about now.
Really gotta move.
14-8, girls, yep.
Now
Turn
curling
it
hard.
over. It's gotta curl. Turn it over. Hard.
Good weight control, but didn't get the curl she was expecting. Not sure if there's a double opportunity or not. I think you can get close enough to the guard to make it. We'll listen in to Sarah.
Because then she has to draw this way.
Yeah, let's play that weight that we threw this way, like that 11-5.
Okay.
Yeah, 11-5. So
And it curls once it gets to center, right?
a little bit.
Okay. 11-5?
Heard 11-5,
Yeah.
so backboard close to that for weight. Trying to get to as much of this as they can. If it does hang, you can roll in front of the one in the back of the 4-foot. Maybe they try to get both reds moving a little bit.
And Sarah Anderson with her first of this 5th end.
Definitely a little on the positive side out of hand. Gonna need to curl.
Hard, Lex, let's go! Hard! Hard!
Lexi really getting this to turn. Gets to almost nose and sits right on the center line. So for Delaney,
Yeah.
a couple of options. You can hit and roll away to sit 2. You can play the in-turn draw. I like the in-turn draw here.
Yeah, I don't want to give her a double.
Huh?
I don't want to give her a double.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
and you just threw it good.
We gotta come this way.
Yeah. a double for 2. Yeah, it's got to be top.
I like this call here.
Probably here? Yeah, okay.
It's a confident call. Really just have to get second count. Make them play against 2 with this. Just threw good draw weight on the previous shot.
Spare a piece here, too.
Maybe time for a clock on this one.
We got to touch the 4-foot. Do you guys like the broom here? I'm not so sure if it's going to run or...
This is one where you're not getting anywhere near that guard. You're just mapping out the path you need to get to top 4 behind it, but you got to clear the guard by probably 2 feet to bury underneath.
And we'll see what Delaney Strouse can do right here with her last rock of the 5th.
Gotta be top 4.
Just looking for top 4.
Line's good.
Line looks pretty good.
Broom.
Got to move.
Broom. Line's good. Lot of room.
14.
13 seconds.
Wait, should be pretty good. That needs to stop now. Don't want to leave it double. Don't want to go too deep. That it's an open hit for 2 and went too far. The sweepers just misjudged that
Okay,
one.
so we just need to play a heavy draw to tap this back.
Yep.
Oh,
so
that
I
line
just
actually
pushed that one through.
really
Yeah,
glided.
you 12.
Similar weight.
Okay.
Go for that 12.
Okay. We had broom. If I'm going to give it here, it would be like there.
Right.
to that
So it was like here. So, yeah, maybe right there.
Okay,
That
similar
should be
weight, sir. You got it.
Yep.
Any way at all to bring the second yellow on the edge of the 8 into this.
If you played a backboard weight, tried to just bump both the
left.
reds out of the 12-foot, you
Same
definitely could play it for 3. But no always gets you 2. So you could play conservative with it,
It was close to 12.
make sure of the 2, and if the line's just right, you could sweep and try to hold the shooter in the 8-foot. It's a very delicate shot.
Last rock of the 5th end here for Sarah Anderson.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Sarah's throwing the rock really well right now. Oh, that one took a really hard turn. Wow. Big surprise there. I don't know if that just caught a slower path, but looked like it was good coming down and just turned and lost a lot of weight. Ends up wrecking, and it's a steal back for Strouse, tied 2-2.
And that brings us to the mid-game break, brought to you by Broom Fitters, where you'll find a full selection of curling brooms, shoes, and equipment, along with unique curling apparel, gifts, and more. Visit broomfitters.com for good curling gear. Back at the Rink, an American Dream for the 2024 USA Curling Men's and Women's National Championships. This is draw 6 on the women's side. And after 5 ends 2-2 between Delaney Strouse and Sarah Anderson. Elsewhere, Christine McMakin up 4-0. They're finishing up the 5th end. And Miranda Shield just gave up a point to Elizabeth Cousins in the 5th end, but still leads 3-2. And Kim Rime out in front of Tabitha Peterson 3-2.
Tab just picked up a 2 in the 5th, to go up 4-3 as we were reading the scores, but still a tight game there. Rime having hammer in the 6th, only down a point. Here our feature game. A couple miscues by each skip on final shots.
We're all human. We're all trying our best, so yeah.
A little surprised on Sarah Anderson's, though. Thought she threw that pretty good. There's a little more curl on that side of the sheet, we think, where she played that out turn.
You got it, Becca.
But only getting a little closer to the center line. We saw some of those draws holding the line, so maybe might have caught a flat spot, something like that on Sarah's. Didn't expect that to turn over the way it did. And with Delaney's draw, again, 14 seconds hog to hog. Even with the sweep, didn't expect it to go as deep as it did.
And with the steal, Sarah Anderson with the hammer here in the 6th. So Rebecca Rogers.
Okay. That's good, Becca. That's fine.
That was supposed to be up top, so
Good too, though.
John
10-5.
Landsteiner always faster in the 6th end, coming out of the break. I think that's 4 games in a row. Got to tell Steiner, remind him, because I know he forgets.
And Leah Yavaro.
Clean, clean. Yup, yup, yup. Roll, roll, roll.
Just hit that
Trying
away.
to get to that delayed corner again with the roll away. Shout out to the Ridgeview Country Club in Duluth, Minnesota, watching tonight's game. A little watch party at the clubhouse. Our native daughter, Lexi Lanigan from Duluth. Uncle Gary watching with a bunch of friends. And maybe a few libations in the clubhouse tonight. Have one for me, fellas. I might catch up after. We'll see.
9-9. Good.
A little nod from Joel Dietz in the booth. I think that's a yes. Sarah, indeed, going with the delayed corner.
I don't think you'll have to go at all. Running.
This one running a little bit, too, on that quick center track. This might have paint.
5-5, 5-5. Good.
It just stops in time, no problem there.
2. Okay.
So a guard for Delaney Strouse.
Yep.
He's throwing a 2. Team Peterson cheering section growing by numbers each day. Their tribe just off to the right of our broadcast booth. If you hear any tomfoolery, any noise, fun bunch over here.
4.
The way this is set up here, it could be a
14-6.
rowdy venue for the weekend for the playoffs.
We know it
Again,
can be loud. It echoes here.
this one comes deep again, too. So nose double for Lexi Lanigan. Lex has played very strong this week. Big reason why this team is tied atop the standings.
Hard! Hard! Hard, right to it! Hard!
Makes no mistake there. Got to make the first one after the broadcaster calls you out. That's beautiful.
On the nose here said 10-5.
Raise the glasses back home at Ridgeview.
Cindy Mullaney again here in the 6th end.
Yep. 10. Whoa, then, whoa. Push.
And again, looking to just hit this back. That's going to roll a little bit.
And maybe a little firm for what they were trying to play. Maybe getting a spin onto the paint, and does. But Sarah will ignore that stone, go right under the corner. See if they can get their 2, maybe more, going to the edges.
She's soft. I think we're okay. Top 8!
Oh.
Top 4!
And Lexi Lanigan.
Back 8!
And the center line track, especially after the 6th end break, lightning fast compared to earlier in the game. Looks like it might hang around the back 12s.
3/4. Yeah.
Got a pretty good piece though.
Like 11/5.
Strauss gonna try to dig this out.
Like 2/3. It's like well over half. 11/5. Yeah, let's roll.
So nice board weight here.
Nice and positive. Yeah.
Anna O'Hara, her first of the 6th.
Left-hander someone intern here.
Yes! Whoa! Yep!
Anna had a similar shot earlier in the game that she really got started. This time comes out clean, nice throw. No problem this time.
Go down 2.
Sarah ignoring the rock in the back of the 8-foot again, playing the draw under the corner. And again, this is a situation we saw earlier in the 5th where they tried to play that run back on the corner.
It's pretty soft.
Instead of playing to the corner, tapping rocks around, trying to score your
Line's good.
2 or 3. Now
Want me down 2?
Right.
ignoring those stones and playing underneath.
No bounce.
No danger really.
Close, Leah. Close, Leah. Yep, Leah. Hard, Leah.
Trying to get a piece of
Good.
the red to shot, and does.
Right on top. Okay. 14-2. Okay.
I was 13-8.
13.
It bounced
Okay.
it a hair.
Yeah. 14. Yep. Right on top.
So second stone coming up for Anna O'Hara. Team Strouse.
Anna throwing the intern freeze. Trying to come right down to that yellow stone in the back of the 8-foot.
Where? Is it heavy? Is it heavy?
Sweepers just cleaning. They like the weight. Line looks good.
Clean it.
Got to make
clean
sure
it,
you don't
clean it,
over curl.
Clean it. Clean it. Real good.
And very well done by Anna.
This is okay though too.
But again, there's no danger here for Sarah Anderson. Trading freezes and shots out to the wing under the corner guard. Exactly where you want to be. Whether or not they're able to get their 2 in this end, it's a good situation to attack without any danger.
I think we're less.
Where? 5, 6. Straight.
And Taylor Anderson's
Hard.
second stone.
Hard, yes. Hard. Go. Come on,
This
Leah.
one really needs
Hard,
to go to
Leah.
get by and to
Hard,
get there.
yeah.
Looks like it's going to chip off the guard.
Yes. Keep it going.
Gets on paint, but not enough to get shot rock. Down to skip stones now. Interesting decision for Delaney.
No.
That rock spilling into the rings really changes
Either there or there.
where you may
Like
end up
half
going.
buried, but
See what Delaney's thinking.
What options does she have?
We'll listen and see what the ladies are thinking.
So we're giving a run back to like spill like.
I feel like if we go here, they're coming there anyways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this. Top 4. It's probably gonna freeze. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this is really the best option.
Maybe I'll,
They were thinking maybe draw open side, but if you do that, you have to be relatively close to the 4-foot,
Full 8-foot tuck a piece.
yeah, I like
or
this.
Sarah Anderson's going to play this draw instead under her own stone.
Yeah, the only, I mean,
So they're
I'm
going to
just
try to
nervous
tuck
about
what they
going
can
open
under the rock in the
because
12s.
She's probably just doing this. So.
And you heard Delaney say the
No,
same
for
thing.
sure,
If
at
we
least
go
half.
open and she's playing what we're playing right
Is that
now.
the broom?
So sometimes it's every bit as much about taking away your opponent's opportunity to get to a spot in the house as much as your rock being there.
First stone on the end from Delaney Strouse. Trying to limit what Sarah Anderson can do with her skip stones.
Sweepers immediately on it
Line's
to
good,
hold
line's
line.
good.
They like the line now.
Line's good. Good.
Line's good now.
Right to the T line would be a good spot.
Straight. 14-7. Yep, straight. Hard
Got to get
line,
by
hard
first.
line, hard.
Oh, just hairs that yellow stone, but
Are you good?
not a terrible spot. Does still spin and get a piece
This one,
behind.
double.
Maybe a slash opportunity for Anderson. Red, red.
Well, we'd only be sitting. I mean, I guess you could catch them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Or it's this on the nose, but then we'd be.
Shooter rolls.
Yeah. This. Here, open it up. Yep. The top of this. Yeah. Well. Yeah, trying to hit it right here. Okay. I'm seeing firm with this.
Broom pretty much where you hit.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like this?
Okay.
Just playing firm. Trying to run this red into the other red, the number 2 counter. It's possible to get all 3 reds going here.
Firm.
If you hit it thick enough, maybe shooter even stays. There is a possibility Anderson could sit 3 after this shot.
So stone here for Sarah Anderson that could lead to a big end.
Whoa! Close.
Needs to get up just a little, very close. Oh, great shot by Anderson.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good go.
Sitting 1.
We're still one, right? Yeah. Yep. They're yellow, so they're one. One. Yep. Yep. He's got to be there. Got to be top 4, yeah. You can even be as far back as
So
you
now
want.
Strauss
What did you give me?
have to draw, come around that stone or attempt to again.
Yeah. Yeah, pair more.
And that'll play into the jam if they leave a
Yeah.
piece open. Fairly likely that Anderson could play that short run on the rock in the top of the 12-foot if they do come around it. All depends on where this finishes.
Yeah, I think so. We can
Delaney
be
would
as far back
probably
as
like to
we
get
want
this
with being shot
fairly
still.
deep,
Yeah.
get some more
Sure, yeah, that's
separation
fine.
between where she draws to and that yellow rock in the top of the 12s.
Oh, she said 14-7.
Last stone of the end for Delaney Strouse. Now trying to limit what Sarah Anderson can do here in the 6th.
Stay close. Line's good.
Probably looking for something right around 14-1, 14-2.
Line's good. Room. Straight.
14-5 probably has to go.
Line's good. Curl.
Line's really good though.
High, back, high.
Great sweep. Really good shot by Strauss. There will be a short run.
But I think that's the call, right? 9-5.
So dead nose on this run for Anderson would be for 2.
Yep. We're fine like that. Last one was an 8. 9-5 on the nose.
Heard 9-5 from Sarah, just normal pass.
Last rock, 6th end. Sarah Anderson trying to pick up 2 to double her advantage over Delaney Strouse.
This one taking a little early turn. Sweeper's trying to hold it.
Great throw, Sarah.
Great sweep, and they hold it for the 2. Anderson gets the deuce to take the 4-2 lead.
So 2 yellow with the 7th end coming up, and Sarah Anderson up by 2.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Welcome back to draw 6 of the Women's National Championship here with USA Curling as we move into the 7th end. Strouse with the hammer, Anderson leading 4-2. And this first stone from Leah Yavaro. Trying to coax it to the 4, and they'll do just that.
7th end now, Strouse down 2. Not thinking odd end, even end with a 2-point disadvantage. You're going hard for your 2-point end now. So Rebecca Rogers throwing the corner guard to start Strauss's end after a nice throw from Yavaro right to the top of the forefoot.
You mentioned odd even in strategy. How does that differ?
Well, if you can get the hammer in the even ends for the last 3, if the score is equal or close, then you'll have it for 2 of the last 3 ends of the game. So for Team Anderson in this situation, even if Strouse gets 2, it's a 3-end game where you likely have hammer twice. And for Strouse, if this was a tie game and they had hammer, that'd be where you'd be playing the 0 or 2 situation. Even down by 1, probably a similar strategy. But not enough ends left in the game to play for a 0 or 2 or consider a blank. You really need to try to get 2 as soon as you possibly can. Try to tie this game up.
Come on, girls. Keep it going, hard.
Trying to get this to the center line, and they do.
Good pair, Leah.
And with a 2-point lead for Anderson, it's not a large enough lead that you're in full defensive mode. 1 in and 1 guard. Just still try to control the front, make your opponent have to waste a few stones.
7, 8.
Now Rebecca Rogers.
8. Stay close. 8.
Rogers playing the come around draw on the corner with her in turn.
14-2.
Looking to get this buried. This can go deep. Doesn't have to be above the tee line. You just want to bury. That's the biggest thing.
Good judge, Sid.
And that is buried behind. Nicely done again by Rogers. That is the battle we expected at the lead position. Both have been extremely sharp. You haven't seen a lot of advantage for either team going into second stones or third stones because of the front end play.
Okay.
Clean. Top 8. Top 12.
Whoa.
Top 8.
It's light. Room, curl. Hard. Curl it. Squeeze it in. Curl.
Lexi Lanigan's out turn draw.
Nice.
Trying to finish to get to nose. Nice shot from Lex.
You got it, Sid.
Strouse playing the run, trying to leave the shooter around. Could also just play a back ring weight and try to tap those yellows, but going to have Mulaney play the run.
Really gotta go.
Pretty good result there.
Real good, Sid.
Loses the center, keeps another corner up front. Spills the yellow counter to the outside 12. Sits second, still under cover.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a little worried about the action back.
Great shot by Sid. You heard Sarah say she's a little worried about the action. So they want to play the double peel, but she's concerned about where the initial stone will go. If it kicks off the other corner guard, possibly goes into their own stone in the house, I think it should go by it still, as long as they hit it fairly thick. You want to hit about 3/4, and I think you're safe.
Whoa! Roll it, Leah! Roll it, Leah!
And gets all of them. Great shot by Lanigan.
Good throw, Lex.
You can hear the glasses clinking at Ridgeview from here.
Good job.
No, you can't. You can try to
Call
roll
those
to
soul
it.
crushers. Feel like you got a good end set up, and
Okay.
all of a sudden one throw. Had it again. Still one corner for Team Strouse. 2 rocks in the house.
I like hitting. 9-5. 9-5. Yep. You got it, Sid.
Second stone here for Sydney Mulaney. And as you said, a soul crusher, so where do they go from here?
Yep.
They're hitting the outside counter and trying to roll in. Maybe trying to set up a situation to get a double and a blank. Well, maybe they'd hit the number 1 counter. Don't really need to chase that outside one right away, and threw that with a lot of weight too. And now Anderson going to peel off this corner and end any chances of a 2-point end for Strouse. And now thinking maybe we can force instead.
Sorry?
Both teams with plenty of time on the clock right now.
I don't mind it.
18:37 for Anderson, 17:27 for Strouse.
I mean, the thing is, if we go here, they then do this, right? If we do top 12, they double and roll. This?
Okay.
So they're going to replace that rock in the outside 12. Sarah thinking maybe we can force here. That would be your best case scenario right now, outside of a soft steal where you get a miss late in the end. Forcing Strouse to 1 is better than giving them the blank. You just don't want to give them an opportunity for 2. So Sarah's measuring the risk reward and going into the house right now. Really heavy though here, and going to their own stone.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Anna.
Just a hair high.
What do you want to throw?
I like 9-5.
Okay.
You have to get like a roll in front, but not go for the double. Yeah. Just 9-5.
At this point, Delaney Strouse doing what she can to play for the blank.
Yeah, very likely
Yes.
ending for this end for Team Strouse. They'll take the blank now if they can get it. Nice double by O'Hara.
Good call, Lainey.
And for Strouse, you're hoping maybe you get a rollout,
Or
catch a
this.
break, and then you can go under that corner and try to find a 2.
9-5? You got it.
They trade hits out, then Strouse will take the blank and try to get their 2 in the 8th. So
Whoa,
important
whoa,
now
whoa,
for Team
whoa.
Anderson, just make sure you stick around. No rollouts to give your opponent a chance to go under the corner. And a little broadcaster jinx on that one.
Okay.
Let's get something buried.
It's a broadsword we wield, gentlemen.
14-2.
So indeed, O'Hara will try to play the in-turn draw under that corner guard. Starting to get way out in the sticks, on the outside of the sheet.
Line's close. Stay close, straight.
Starting it basically right on the center line.
Straight.
Once it gets off the center, it's not nearly as fast a track.
Okay, well then. Whoa, whoa.
Got really nice line here.
Curl it, go.
You want to
go.
finish this up a little too.
Whoa, good.
Boy, really nice shot from O'Hara. That's a tough draw to make.
Okay, so just a little inside nose.
Really well done.
Roll this way.
Sorry?
You're saying this way?
I want this way because
Okay.
that has less way to go, right?
Yep.
Our shooter was going to go this way,
Yep. What's your... Okay.
but intern, PO, you might float a little out here, okay?
Okay. You got it, Sarah.
Heard intern Peel for Sarah Anderson.
Heel.
Her first stone of this 7th end.
Sarah playing the run back, trying to kill both Reds. Probably playing it to just off nose on the outside so the shooter goes off too if they can.
Clean. Yep. Whoa.
Sarah really fired this one.
Roll it.
Really close.
Okay, roll. Okay.
And rolls off. So Strouse will try to split up the house now, even up.
Even. Yep.
And this shot here, you don't need to cut yourself out of a lot of house. You see they're taking just inside edge of the button. They started the previous shot right on the center line to bury,
Even.
but you don't need to go all the way out
Even.
to the outside of the 12-foot. You can be in the 8-foot on this shot and it's just fine.
Okay.
Just as long as they're even up and you don't leave a double. The depth of this shot is the most important thing. Meaning, we'll get the clock up.
I think this line should be a little faster because Anna's line is like no one has ever thrown up that yet.
And Delaney Strouse could hear the line she's on. She expects to be faster. And an intern.
Line's good. It's got to be 6-7. Got to be
Place
6-7.
over on the right side of the house.
So here just looking for 6-7, right even up with the other.
Hard girls.
Sweeper's
Line's
going
good.
pretty hard, but looks good.
Line. Hard girls. Got to be there.
14-9 does need to go a little
As far
bit.
as it goes back. Hard.
Really want to go to get to even.
Hard. Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
good sweep there by the ladies. No double available
Stick right here, that's fine.
by my laws of physics.
You got it.
9-5.
Okay. You got it.
So 14-9, so definitely a fast track there. Sweepers get that all the way to almost T-line. So this will just be a hit and stick for Anderson.
Right on the nose is good.
Nowhere to roll, nothing that can really help. Just want to stay shot rock.
Now Sarah Anderson with her last rock of this end and needs to do something right, Tyler, just to force Delaney Strouse to have to work for
Yeah,
the two.
make her make something. You want to be shot. Otherwise, it's a free draw for Delaney.
Now you can go little.
It's real close.
Okay.
And will be a free draw for Strouse. Don't need to hit that stone.
Yep, it's
So whatever
us, yeah.
path she wants to throw,
You got it.
she's going to play the out turn draw to the button. And assuming she gets full 12, we can go back to that rollout by Taylor Anderson, caused by me, obviously. It's the only reason they're able to use that corner guard.
It's got to be more than full 12 here.
But wonderful draw by Anna O'Hara out in a track that's tough to read to bury that completely.
So last rock for Delaney Strouse here in the 7th end to get the 2 back they gave up in the 6th.
Just full 12.
Sweepers just cleaning halfway down.
Just full 12.
Here's 6-7. That's what you want to hear as a skip.
14-4.
14-4,
Nice.
14-5. No problem at all.
Nice.
Perfectly done. And we have a tie ball game.
14-4.
So through 7 ends, Delaney Strouse and Sarah Anderson are level at 4. The 8th end is coming up. And Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, is proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, Steve's Curling Supplies has all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. Right now, save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USACurling10 at checkout. Visit stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Back at the Rink and American Dream, heading into the 8th end. First stone on the way from Rebecca Rogers and Team Strouse in a 4-4 game.
2.5.
With both teams coming into this with records of 4-1.
Strouse immediately going to the center guard from Rebecca Rogers. Perfectly done. So advantage Anderson. Again, we talked about that even end hammer. Now a 3-end game with a tie score. Anderson likely getting hammer twice.
Yes, line.
They'd still really like to get a 2 here in the 8th if they can.
Line's good. Line's good. Yep. Split the 4. Come on, Tay.
This has been the high-level game we expected it to
Come on,
be.
Tay. Hard.
Fun one to call.
Hard, yes.
Not always a lot of
Deeper,
rocks in
deeper,
play, but
deeper.
that doesn't mean that it's the chess
Good
match
sweep.
stops.
Good job. Good.
Nice throw again by Yavaro.
Yeah. It's not,
No
it's about
stats up here in the
happening,
booth, but I'd be willing to
okay.
bet both leads are in that 90%
point.
range with how they've been playing.
Rebecca Rogers with her second.
5. 5, 6. Line's good. I
Becca
like the
playing her
line.
out turn, trying to freeze
Line's real
right
good.
to that
Sweep.
rock in the top of the 8-foot.
No bounce on the line, though. No bounce. Okay,
Line
gotta
looks
go then.
good.
Gotta go. Over curling. Hard. Gotta lock it on. Gotta lock it on. Hard.
It does over curl a little bit. You might see Anderson throw open now. They are going to go
Maybe a
under
touch
and
more
get another
ice here.
counter in.
Over on sheet A, Miranda Shield. One in the 6th, the steal in the 7th. And leading
Line's good.
5-2 on Elizabeth Cousins. Is this second shot coming from Leah
Line's good.
Yavaro.
Where?
Sarah Anderson with the
Hard.
hammer here in the 8th. And can they just draw it
Curl if you
around
can.
those two
Hard, girls. Come on.
at the top of the 4 and in the
Okay,
8th?
well, leave it there. Leave it there. Good sweeping.
It's not gonna
good
get there.
sweeping.
Now the come around draw comes up a little short. Top of the 12-foot. Delaney thinks that maybe they
Right
can
there.
get both.
Fairly high.
Just sneaks by
Think you
that
should
red
be able to
stone.
get it.
Nose hit
How
isn't
much you
terrible
have,
either,
Rock?
but losing both
9-5.
would be a pretty good result. 9-5, just a normal hit. So if they're playing a double, it's not with a lot of weight.
We can try to throw 10-5. Okay, let's do 9-5 if we need it. Just can't hit it too thin.
Really tight stick for a 9-5 hit here.
Comes from Sydney Mullaney.
9-5. Oh, clean.
Side is
Clean,
running a
yep,
little
yep.
straight, but
Yep, 9-5. Hard. Hard back.
Whoa, 9-5. Yep.
Really close. Oh, nice shot by Sid.
Hard, all the way out, Bex, hard. Real good.
Will it spin back on too? I think Anna thinks that might have got a biter too. Well, really good shot. So firm weight on this run. They want to keep the shooter around for a corner guard.
Yep,
Lexi
yep.
Lanigan.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Close, yep.
yep.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa. Get the roll. Whoa, Leah. Good.
Does roll for a corner, so not a bad
Good
result
go, good
there.
go.
Does open up the center.
3.
Delaney's going to replace that one.
Yep.
Try to bring the action back to the center.
All good.
Fun
Yep.
back and forth here between these two teams now.
I like it. 25, 30, 30.
And the second stone at the end coming from Sydney Mullaney. Just looking to replace the guard that was
Over. Let's go, girls.
cleared away on the run.
This looks like it's a mile short.
gotta
Really
go,
got to
girls.
go just to get it over.
Hard, over. Get it over. Gotta be over. Hard.
Ooh. I'd call that a 1.
Looking for an 11.
Maybe a half.
There's not much of a number. It's some kind of decimal. Great sweep to get I didn't think that had a chance to get over the hog line.
And tactically a factor at all that
It is a center guard.
Taylor.
It's not really much you can do to bury behind it.
Keep going.
Hard, you got
But
it.
if this
Come on,
ends
Tay.
up on the nose,
Come on, Tay.
it could serve as another
Watch the roll,
guard.
watch the roll.
It does roll to the
Nice.
outside.
Go, Lex. Good shot.
It's more of a nuisance than anything
So we can
else.
force this way. Yep. 10-5. Yep. 10-5.
So first stone of this end for Anna O'Hara.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, clean, yep. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Open hit and
Close,
stick, trying to
close.
roll middle
Yep.
and use that nuisance of a center
Yes.
guard. Oh, and over curls, rolls all the way towards that corner guard.
10-5.
Looking for
That's
this.
the area that Anderson wants to play in. See if they can roll Barry. There's not much room to roll back
That's
there,
good,
but you
pretty
can at
good.
least bring the corner into play.
10-5.
Taylor Anderson. Try and put her team in a position to get at least 2 in this 8th end. In a match between
Yep,
2 of the
yep,
3
yep.
4-1 teams at this point in the tournament. The other is Tabitha Peterson, who right now leads Kim Ryan 5-3. They're finishing
to
the
it,
7th.
come
Really tight here, trying to hold it.
Good sweep. Good sweep. Way to hold it.
Good job by
Good
the
job.
sweepers to keep it in the house. Does roll behind that center guard. And this is where Strouse maybe can set up a soft steal. They could dig this out
5.
with Hack very easily. That guard's not even in play for even board weight.
Yep.
But electing to play the freeze.
I was going to say, does it make any sense to play the freeze?
I mean, you can get a miss and maybe get a force out of it, but that rock that's biting on the 12-foot over there is already playing to force, and I'm not even sure that Anderson would play the blank if they had the opportunity. That's a
Okay, lock it on. Lock it.
preference thing on if you'd rather blank or take the single point. I always like taking 1 and 8 in a tie game.
No bounce.
Trying to lock this on that stone,
Real good.
and that is dead frozen. Anderson now will follow to the top of the button.
Top
They don't want to go all the way back to it, just in front of it on the button.
Tay.
There's got to be 30 feet between the guard and where those stones are in the 4-foot.
And Taylor Anderson, her sister, asking to draw to the top of the button.
T.
Room. Whoa. Whoa. 10 minutes to go. 5, 6.
Tons of room.
7.
Tons of room.
8.
It's really staying out on that path that have to get inside the edge of 4s before it starts to curl. Really want to be shot rock at least.
Okay.
And does nestle in at the end,
Huge.
but maybe a little tap and sit in front of it for Strouse.
How much do you have?
I mean, we can throw. I kind of like.
You like throwing hack?
Yep. And then if she freezes, then we.
Talking
freeze
about
on top.
playing hack weight,
I think that's
taking
really
the
cool.
ice out of it a little
I think
bit
maybe a little-
as opposed to just playing the heavy
12
draw.
and a half, 12 and a half, yeah. Just get inside nose a bit.
They have the stopper with that yellow stone. I wouldn't want to move
Okay,
that
and
back
grab the
yellow one
inside
too
here.
much and
Should be
unlock
fairly
that
simple
red.
with the- so not in play, yeah.
So with hack, you got to be careful not to catch
Alright,
too
12,
much.
5 here. I think this. You guys like the broom?
Move the back yellow and maybe set up something where they can get those reds moving around.
Okay.
They'd like to get inside nose to make sure they
Yeah,
line
I
up
think
if they
so.
can. Red right on top of red.
And first stone of the end for Delaney Strouse. Out turn to see if she can accomplish what was just described by Tyler George.
Whoa. Whoa.
Line's close, still cleaning.
Whoa. Yep.
Is it too heavy?
They like it. Looks really good.
Whoa.
Oh, great shot. Strauss now sitting 2, but does unlock that back stone.
Roll here. Try to get this out.
What do you like throwing?
That's why I thought maybe the heavy draw is a better shot than the hack,
Right here.
just because that reds, they can remove one of them now.
Okay.
So if they can get to nose or close to it, one red goes out the back.
Yeah.
Might still be sitting 1, but yellow would be 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we want to push this to here, but I think that should be enough weight.
Okay.
Like 11.5 to.
Okay. Let's make it. You got it.
Yeah. 12. Pick up the throw, 12. Trying to get to nose. 12.
Tabitha Peterson picks up another in the 7th to go up 6-3 against Kim Rhyme. That's the other 4-1 team in this women's round robin. And now Sarah Anderson's first of this 8th end.
Sarah throwing similar weight to what Delaney just did. They really want to get 2nd, 3rd, and 4th count.
Yep.
Maybe a little tighter track than what Delaney was on. Sweepers got on it early, though, to hold it. Still trying to hold it to get by the guard.
Keep going.
Does get by, crossing that stone a little now. Doesn't move the 2nd red far enough to make the others count.
So what does this mean for final shot for Delaney Strouse?
Well, we'll have to take a look at the overhead and see who shot first. That'll make a big difference on what Delaney wants to do.
Yeah. Like just locking one on think top locking on one, yeah. Here. Yeah.
Turning my head
Or
to
one
try
thing
to
out
see.
there.
That's really
Yeah,
close.
I think on this side because then she can't like.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say guess red based on how much of that
I
circle
do
in the curling.
I think
logo
it is red.
Even if we touch the hair and they're sitting
Again, with
side
where
by
that
side.
guard is, you can bump that
Throw it on top.
yellow pretty easily with
A little bit more, Anna. Yep.
even like a through the house weight to try to sit 2. I'd really like to see them attempt that, but with that broom, it looks like they're just playing a draw,
Okay.
essentially for
Yeah,
a
I think we might be
freeze
little
and
corner frozen here on this
a
side.
likely force
Yeah.
situation. Yeah, I think you could come
Yeah,
right
even
down,
if I
tap
know
that
it's
thing
not
out to
hard
back
here.
4s and sit 2.
You guys like the broom?
Make things really difficult on
Okay.
Anderson for the single.
Touchless.
Last rock of the 8th for Delaney Strouse.
Just top 4.
And can she make it a challenge for Sarah Anderson here in the 8th?
She needs to get it all the way to the forefoot, or that in-turn tap for Anderson's for 2.
Really needs to curl.
It's really got to move, girls.
Hard. 14-8.
Starting to curl now. Got to keep going, though.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty straightforward tap for 2 now for
Just tap it for
Anderson.
2,
Really
right?
needed to move that yellow stone, and Delaney never really even looked at tapping that rock.
And then sit right here.
You have to assume that that guard isn't even in play for that shot.
Pretty much the same way I just threw, right?
Yeah. Well,
So leaving that short opens the
I
door
know,
for
but
Sarah
it's better
Anderson to
than
get 2 here in the 8th.
So that was a 13. I think a 12's good. No, just this here. I'm seeing a 12.
Okay.
Seeing a 12.
So will be in-turn tap for Sarah. Just need to move that back red maybe a half a foot to score there 2.
Okay, that was a 13. So I'm giving you a 12. 12 half rock would be good. It was a 13.
12, so they're actually playing hack, which cuts the margin for error down a little bit. You don't need to overthrow this because you need the shooter to stay. 12 is a lot of weight for this shot. You can make it with it, but should kick off a little harder.
It was 12 half stone.
Woo!
And
Last
definitely
rock of the 8th.
tracking a little early.
Yep, go Tay, yep.
Now it's starting to turn. We'll see if Anderson can get it to curl enough. Will the shooter stay?
That's fine.
Oh, rolls too far. And just a 1 for Anderson. Really too much weight for that shot, and we needed to get so close to the rock in the top 8s to get 2.
Best of a bad situation after leaving it short by Delaney Strouse. They trail by 1, though, and it's 5-4. As we move to the 9th, Strouse will have the hammer. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. That's Warm Room Hero. Go to curling.club. Back at the Rink and American Dream as we move to the 9th. First stone from Leah Yavaro for Sarah Anderson as they hold a 1-point advantage over Delaney Strouse.
Easy call here for Sarah to go up top
Come on,
with
girls.
first stone.
Good
You'd
sweeping.
love
good
to get a
sweeping.
force on Strouse right now, and steal would be great as well. You just don't want to give Strouse the opportunity to blank. If somebody scores 1 point this end, that's a victory for Anderson. For Delaney, you can try to score 2. So coming around this stone.
Stay close, stay close. Straight,
6.
straight. We're over curling by quite a bit.
Need to get this into the house for sure.
You could hear over curling by quite a bit.
It's still in the house. It's not bad.
Now Leah Yavaro with her second stone of this ninth end.
Lots of room. Where? Curl? Whoa.
This is coasting right now.
No, sorry.
Needs to hit the brakes to have some house. Love to get this through if you're Strouse. Keep that 0 or 2 going.
Yes, very much so.
And it is out. That's big, even though that rock probably doesn't matter much for scoring. For maintaining a 0 or 2 situation, it's really good. So now Strouse can throw to the open side and play 0 or 2. Great setup for Delaney to start this end after finally a blink from Leah Yavaro, who's played so well this game.
Hit it early.
Now Rebecca Rogers needs to make that count.
They like this in the back quadrant, as they say, behind the tee over here. Starting to run out of house. Yeah, that's not going to get there.
You're good. That's fine, Becca.
So a miss from both leads. And with this setup, it's getting more likely that Strouse may go strong for the 2-point score as opposed to a blank.
Now Lexi Lanigan.
Wait if you can. A little. Where? Top 8. Top 4.
In-turn draw for Lex.
Curl.
Gonna go top 4.
Curl.
Top 4.
Curl it, yes. Yes. Hard.
Yep, go.
Yep, keep it going.
Rack will be mostly open, but nice weight. Really finish up.
What's that?
4-5.
What was
Do you
my
think the
line?
shot by Yavaro that went all the way through affected Rebecca Rogers? And maybe that's why she left it short.
No, it's two completely different paths there. They're playing the center line as opposed to Yavaro is playing outside in. Sometimes you just miss. No need to overanalyze too much. That's what they can do out there.
Now Sydney Mullaney.
Trying to roll away here and stay away from the center. Tried to get it under the corner, but just rolls a foot. Still open, so in-turn hit and roll opportunity for Anderson.
You got it here.
11 minutes left for Anderson still. Just under 10 for Strouse. Both teams have played with a good pace, and we've talked so much, Joe, this week about pace of play helping teams in their execution. There's been a lot of simple shots. They haven't had to think too much, but both teams have played pretty quickly and executed very well because of it.
Right to it. Good.
That
Heavy roll.
over curls and rolls off
Good sweep.
for Lanigan. Now Strouse choosing where they want to go. Under the center, under the corner.
Your thought? Does it matter?
Well, it's either of those two or peel the center. But I think there's a decent chance maybe of a 3 with how they're set up. So I think I'm going hard for score now. Might be a good time for a timeout to talk about how you want to run this, but they have plenty of time to talk.
Yeah, I think we can go under.
It's all about what your tactic is now. And if you're
No,
saying
because if
we're
we
going to
hit
play
it,
for 3,
Just hit our open one. I think we really want to get 2.
I don't
Like,
mind
we
going
have
under the
opportunity
corner.
to get 2. I think that's, you know what I mean?
They
Obviously
can use
playing
that
is
red
good,
rock
but
as a
I think that
raise
if-
too.
I don't really like the peel. I like either this or this. Okay, sure. Okay, yep. Yeah, I like this. Let's get one buried. Yep.
They are going under the corner. I like the call.
There's great.
Yeah, top.
I don't think there's a wrong call in any of the 3, but I think when you look at the way the rocks are set up, if you map the rest of this end out, there's not a ton of danger for Strouse, even with the center guard, because they have that rock in the top of the 12s that they could maybe play a soft run with, or even peel the center if Anderson ever does go underneath, and you'd have second and third count with a chance to still get a 2, maybe a 3. I like this call.
So Sydney Delaney, and as you said, if they can play for 3, if they could get the 3, that means they could concede 1 in the 10th and not be out of it.
And when we talk about 0 or 2, then that other option that's better yet is 3.
13-5 should be okay.
Okay.
Back 4.
Yeah, just let it dig.
Should
Let it
still
dig.
have some paint,
Let
might
it
not
dig.
bury, but
Okay, Sid, that's good.
it's not bad. Spreads those rocks out.
I think
So,
you
I
can
mean-
dig it.
This?
Confirmation from Chelsea Carey, that's the correct call, so now I know I'm right.
It's either this or this.
And Delaney's right.
You can
More
dig
importantly.
it too.
We can call timeout.
And timeout being called by Sarah Anderson.
So,
And again, this is all about how you want to
either
play the rest of the end.
we're going on
This
for
shot kind of
this,
dictates
right?
it.
Yeah.
And we'll listen in, see what they're thinking.
and then they peel, and then we hit
Can
and
roll.
roll.
Sit 2.
Sit 2. Well, sit. Or we come down to this, would be shot. Even here.
That's not bad either. You don't ever like going at it.
Coach Earl Morris making his way down to discuss
I mean, how much of this do you have?
his young charges.
And as you said, this isn't just about this upcoming
or it's
shot.
that, but
This
then
is
we
kind of
wouldn't be
planning out the
shotting
rest of
It
the
does
end.
really kind of dictate how you play the rest of the end out.
Right, right. So you're thinking to it. Right. Because we could be anywhere here.
Yeah.
Because I think we come here and they either try to chip it out or freeze to it. Yeah. Yeah.
And a 13.
13-3. That still gives them 2. Yeah. So yeah, Ted, we. Right, right. Yeah. I mean, so we do this, they do this, we do this. Yeah. Right, right, right.
Okay, this is a
Yeah,
13.
this was a 13-3. They didn't touch it at all. But yeah, like a 14, because we can be here.
13-8. Yeah, 13-7.
So it looks as though they're going to play the freeze to that back stone. A little gutsy call here. Also, Sarah had a really strong Canadian O, talking about out. When talking, I don't know if she's trying to impress Earl. That was thick. Yeah, this is an interesting call.
Earl Morris coaching here. He's also coached Canadian teams at Jennifer Jones and Rachel Holman.
Really gutsy play, playing
Mine's
away
on,
from
Ralph.
the center.
Mine's good. Where?
Freezing on this back
to it.
stone.
Keep looking.
Mine's good. Always straight. Where?
He's got to go for weight to get there, too.
No bounce here. No bounce here. Leah, it's rock. Leah, 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 Leah. Hard, Leah. Hard, Leah.
Good
Good.
throw,
Leave
Tay.
it a little short of it, actually.
Good job.
Yep. think we
Even
just
if
kinda
you
wanna
jam on
push
the
it out
back.
if we can.
Yeah.
At least sit 2. It's fine if it takes this one with it. Probably like true hack, 13. 13?
So maybe
Yeah.
half a rock with
Yeah.
hack.
Do you like that? Yep.
Tough to get it over the top and stay.
Close his nose, or we roll.
Really precise touch shot for O'Hara here.
We're rolling. Okay. Okay, 13.
Anna O'Hara, big moment here for Delaney Strouse as they're really trying to see what they can do to fabricate a big number.
And your good miss is narrow here because if you stack, it's not so bad. If you can hold it to nose and stay shot, it's still pretty good.
Push, 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 push.
That's not that bad.
Good.
Keeps that red rock in the back too. Angles are set pretty well. I don't mind that result at all. That's the pro side miss, and I wouldn't even call that a miss. Such a tough shot to try to pick that out and not lose your own.
You heard Sarah Anderson. They do have second rock. Shot rock for Delaney Strouse, second for Anderson. The one at the top, the 12, is
This
third.
would be this, trying to get them all, or you draw here.
I'm not opposed to that. You want to think about
This is
playing on
second.
this? Because it's going to go back. This is going to come back into play.
I know, but the thing is, we pull in here, right? They play at this. This is still shot.
Yeah.
No, the freeze will lose both our yellows because they just hit. Yeah, so I think it's this, right?
Okay.
And it's out turn all day. It's out turn all day. Right here.
Yep.
That was more release.
So Tyler, it seemed it was a discussion of trying to take everything out on the left side or draw into the 4.
Yeah, they're going to play the out turn draw. Sarah was talking about leaving it top 4 and still showing some. I don't think you want to show them any. You really need to bury here. She's a little worried about the hack weight short run on that redstone on the top of the 12. I'd be more worried about leaving it open and then a hit and roll opener from Strouse, which puts him in great position for 2. I think Sarah's more concerned about giving up 3. It's still 3 rocks left per team. So I think you can just play to bury on this shot. You don't need to half tuck.
No,
We'll see
Leah,
if Taylor
Leah.
Anderson can do just that.
Where? 5, 4. Line's good. Line's good. Top 4.
Keep looking.
Curl. Hard.
Line's really
Hard.
good now. It's all about the
Hard.
weight.
Go, 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 go. Hard. Good.
Good second shot.
So Anderson has second and third.
And they can use that stone too. Getting it by that red stone is huge. Because if they do bury here, then Sarah has a short little out turn, either run in or bump. Delaney has to beat her in.
The 4 foot. Hey, biting 4. Even full 8 foot here is real good. Yep. Just full 8
I'd almost be tempted to play the out turn tap on the red because your shooter might block off that tap
What do you like?
for yellow afterwards.
Anna O'Hara off the hack. Out turn in what has become a very intriguing end.
Stay close for line. Straight.
Just trying to get to top 4, and this is
Straight. Really
taking a
gotta go.
hard turn at center
Really
ice.
gotta
Got to
go
go for
straight.
line now.
Hard straight. Hard to get it by.
Really needs to go to get by the red.
Hard. Hard. Okay, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Be
Well,
second
it does
shot.
get shot though.
Real good, Anna. That's a good
That's
spot.
not a bad spot at all. That takes away the inside. Actually move the red
Even the
over to
little
make
roll-
that yellow
little
tap
roll here's
harder.
okay, I think.
Okay.
That's a really
Well,
good result.
Nose is not bad.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, I don't mind
position.
those. She just maybe
Anderson's
hits
gonna
that on
have
the
to
nose
hit
and they
that
both
stone.
go. Like, if we could ever maybe roll here,
Then she just has.
I think
Okay.
this, if we could roll in right here, I think that'd be pretty good.
Why is nose?
Because then she hit this and they both go,
Okay.
right? So I think we need to get the roll in.
You
But
gonna throw it?
I think a 10-5.
It's probably edge on edge.
Yeah. I mean, because even if we do this,
That's when that's not bad.
so I think a 10-5.
Okay, and you're trying to roll here.
Well, if we roll here, she probably tries to play this back, maybe.
I think
I
that's
think
okay
this is the call. Because if we go here, it's staggered in a way.
Yeah, but then she has the same draw again.
Yeah, but then we freeze.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
10-5.
You got it.
So Sarah Anderson coming back for her first shot of this ninth end. And Tyler wants to hit and roll behind those two
10-5.
in the house, but Leah Yavaro brought up rolling the other way.
If you roll in front of the number one counter, then it's hard to play a hit and roll because it plays into a jam. But it leaves that draw open there for Strouse as well. So Anderson just playing maybe a board weight hit and try to roll in a little bit.
Big first stone here for skip Sarah Anderson.
Plenty of weight.
Yep.
Needs to turn.
Hard, Jay, hard.
That's going to roll to the outside for sure. Rolls in front of the red. And now Delaney will play that draw in. And that's what, that's Sarah's reasoning for why they didn't want to roll away, because this leaves the draw now for Strouse and brings 3 into the picture. They are still sitting shot. You really want to get this right to top 4.
Yeah, kind of same spot we wanted. I like being buried here.
Pretty much daring Sarah to play that little run in on the yellow on the opposite side in the top of the 8-foot.
You guys like the ice here?
So Delaney Strouse looking for a draw to the 4-foot. And what could really make for an interesting 10th end.
A really big shot here. They like the line a lot.
Line's good. Line's good.
Looks really good right now.
Line's good. Stay close. Stay close, straight. Yep,
14-7. Got to go to get by, too. Got to get shot rock out of it.
Oh.
Just far enough. So red is sitting 2.
Just trying to think.
Waited just a little too long to sweep.
So, yeah, it's this. Yeah, I guess so, right?
Buried a pretty good
Or it's
piece of
like
it.
we have this
You
tab,
can
we
use
have
that
this
yellow
tab.
too
I
in
think
that
it's
pocket maybe.
That one.
Oh, well, we're sitting 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
Hit and give her 2.
I think hit or give her 2.
I kind of think this
By
is the
leaving
safe
it there, is,
Yeah.
have they essentially
It's
lost
just
the
like
chance
it's
for
like
3?
kind of close to the guard.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Sarah
Yeah.
still has to make this
So,
first.
Well,
I
sure.
just threw a 10-3. 10-3. So, just because it's kind of close to the guard, probably play the same.
Because it's okay to come off of this, right?
No.
I mean, like, hit this and sit
Yeah.
here.
So, where my ice was like here last time, right?
Yeah.
That much ice.
I think
Maybe a
that's
little
what
bit,
you take.
a little more.
You're going to throw 10-5 or 11?
Same weight.
Trying to throw same
Same
weight
weight.
they just threw.
The same weight.
That's probably about a 10-5. Just a small piece of that rock showing.
It was a 10-3. Actually, don't have much of it at all.
With that type of weight, it's probably not enough if they catch the yellow first to move that red out of the 8-foot.
Final rock of the 9th end for Sarah Anderson. Trying to limit the damage that could be brought by Delaney Strouse.
Yep.
A little early turn from this stone. Trying to hold the line, getting close to the guard.
Hard!
Oh, and here's the guard. It pushed the guard over close to the draw path for Strouse. The out turn around the outside is still there.
That'll be full 8.
Get to full 8 for 3, a huge point.
As far as you can, yeah, full 8.
This is going to be a guess on the weight out here, though. Nobody's played a draw out in this path the entire game. So this is one you really need to talk with your sweepers about, see what they think.
Yeah. You got it, Laney. Full 8. I don't see another way in. Yeah. Taylor threw a few out here that ran really hard, so I don't know if this is... Okay. 5, that's what I was thinking.
Haven't seen these paths be much
For
slower
sure.
in the outside. I think it should run pretty true.
All right, so last rock of the 9th inning, a chance for Delaney Strouse to put up 3 and take a 7-5 advantage into the 10th, even though Sarah Anderson will have the hammer.
Really falling. Line's good. Really got a curl.
It really got a curl. It's
Pensive
falling.
look from Delaney
Really
Strouse.
got a curl. 13-5.
Gonna need to finish it.
Gotta be full 8. Yeah,
Might be able to get enough of the 8 foot. Really close. Yeah. Weight wasn't too bad. 13-3, overthrown just a touch. But yeah, just got out in the weeds on the straight side and never curled. So just a 2 for Strouse.
But still a 1-point advantage going into the 10th, which will be very interesting. So don't go anywhere. It's coming up next. There are 3 4-1 teams coming into this 6th draw of the Women's National Championship. One of them's now 5-1, and that is Tabitha Peterson with a 10-3 win over Kim Rime. The other 2 are right here, with Delaney Strouse in front 6-5, but Sarah Anderson with the hammer. First stone here from Rebecca Rogers.
14. Whoa.
Rogers coming right
Good.
in
Good.
to the 4 foot, comes all the way to the lid.
Okay.
There you go. Tabitha Peterson, by the way, finished off that match with Kim Rime with 4 in the 8th, and that led to the handshakes. Now Leah Yavaro.
Whoa.
This will be a corner guard
Good.
for Yavaro. No surprise here.
Really moving. Always straight. Come on.
Very likely you'll see a center
Come on,
guard
yep.
from
Hard.
Strauss on Rogers'
Good
second.
spot. That's good. Good.
Fairly
job.
tight.
Just 2.5, 3 right in front of it.
Miranda Shield with 2 in the 9th to go up 7-3 on Elizabeth Cousins. That definitely has some bearing on the standings too.
Hit it 3. Whoa.
Would leave both of those teams at 2 and 3.
3. How's the line? Line's fine. Line's good. 2.5. It's got to curl a little, but line's good. 2.5. You don't need to do that, Sid. You don't need to do that.
Second stone here from Rebecca Rogers.
They're looking for 2.5, 3.
Distance,
Looks like that's what they'll get.
On the line, on the line, on the line, on the line.
That's really
good,
well
back,
done.
sit there. You got it.
He even could have finished a hair.
Here, Leah. Little top.
Leaves a little open and on the same side as the corner guard too. Yavaro playing a little tap on this stone on the button,
Close.
trying to move it back.
Clean. Clean.
This is the chess
Clean,
match
yep.
now. The down
Yep.
one with coming home.
Clean,
Most
yep,
exciting
yep,
end in
yep.
curling.
Yep, right to it. Come on, Lex. Clean. Clean.
Well done.
Great shot.
Does tap that to the back 8, so
Come on, get on here, Sid.
be a freeze now for Strauss.
Got 14.
In turn for Delaney.
5.
Really
Five,
gotta go.
5.
Hard line. 4.
Doesn't look like
Really
it's going
light,
to get
hard.
there. They called 5, but
Hard.
turning over hard.
Just light.
It's just
Does
going to
miss
be
the
in the
guard.
top of the 12-foot.
How does that change things?
Well,
Right
if
to
you're
the
able to
nose of
get
it.
the freeze, then Anderson either has to tap or refreeze. Now they can come to their own and sit 2.
Yep.
In order to get 2, if they make the freeze, you have to bump the rocks around at some point. Now they're throwing a second counter this early in the end.
Lexi Lanigan, her first here in this decisive 10th.
Top 4. Wait if you can. Lots of
We're
room.
gonna have to go a little. We're gonna have to go a little.
Where?
We gotta go top 12.
Curl.
Top 8.
Wait's good. Wait's
Top
back
8.
here. Curl. Where is it?
Plenty of room here on
Curl.
Lexi's draw.
Hard take.
Taking a hard turn here is
Hard
Anderson
take. Come on, get it
trying to
deeper,
get it to
it
curl. You
deeper.
don't want to corner on your
Hard,
own.
hard. Yes, yes,
Need
yes,
to get
yes,
by
yes.
it now.
Good.
Okay.
Well, that's really important that
Sorry,
that
I did
rock
not
got
swim.
behind it. If it corners on the high side, then it's an easy double for Strouse and complete control of the end. So those couple inches make a huge difference in how this end is played. We got handshakes over on sheet A. Miranda Shield finishes off that victory over Elizabeth Cousins. Should be a dogfight for the 4th spot.
7.
Line's good. Stay close.
7, 8.
Straight.
6. Gotta go wait.
Freeze attempt again.
Hard.
Or
Really gotta go,
Delaney.
girls. Hard.
Sweeper's really trying to get it there, but
Whoa,
this
whoa,
one's
whoa,
going to be
whoa.
short too. Needs to bounce off though. You don't want to corner it. Now those two are behind 2 staggered guards.
Pretty risk.
Boy, Anderson looking at maybe moving those rocks. They have 2 buried behind them.
You don't like the idea.
Well, you're behind 2 staggered rocks. They can't do anything with it right now.
I think it's this. Little
Boy.
high.
I wouldn't move these rocks at all. Make your opponent move them first.
Stick there with firm or we roll
What would you rather do?
Trying to
You
stick
bury
here.
behind
Anything
it.
but this
Any-
at this point. No, they're protecting your counters. You already have the 2 you need. You could almost throw up a guard at this point.
Clean. Whoa.
Throw in another counter, something, but you're unlocking these and now giving your opponent the chance to get to your stones.
Good.
Yeah, you can play the freeze again, or you can run. I don't understand that call at all.
You have.
I have a sliver. Like that
13.
12. You said 13? Yeah.
Okay. Let's bump some stuff back. 13.
Miranda Shield 2 in the 9th to win 7-3 over Elizabeth Cousins.
Clean. Well then, clean. Clean. Clean.
O'Hara wants to move one of these rocks around. If they could get to the one on the center line, that's ideal. Don't know if it's going to get to that one. Might have to play
Push.
the number 2. It does pick that
Okay.
one off. Got to get it out of the 8-foot, out count it. I think I might need an above shot now to see who's sitting what.
Yeah.
Full 4.
You got it, Tay.
Are going to throw the in-turn come around up to their own stone. We'll have to find out in a little bit
12. Yep.
who's sitting how many. Very important to know if that rocking back 8's a second count.
Top 4.
And Taylor Anderson giving a whoa.
Where?
T. T.
Leah. Right here. Leah. Leah.
Navarro trying to turn this over. Don't want to set up a double.
Okay.
That's fine.
And there's really nowhere for that top yellow to go. It's going to jam on
Right into this one.
the other one all day.
You think we just let it?
You might have to let it anyways, though, as they said. Just hammer it, let it jam, and then deal with it on the next shot. get shot rock.
Have to let it. We'll be sitting two, hopefully.
You could also cross it with solid hack and try to roll in and try to miss that stone like that. Maybe time for a timeout and discuss.
9-5. 9-5. Yeah, you like right on the nose.
On the nose,
Or do you want to throw?
Sarah
more, Sid?
Anderson's used her timeout. Delaney Strouse is not.
The other option is to
Yeah,
throw it
center guard.
with
So,
peel
you know, use it between-
and just try to whisker that stone. Maybe you can get it to go really thin by the rock in the
9-5.
back of the 8.
Firm.
Really precise then, but they're going to elect to give up that jam to lose the number 1 counter and sit first. Hope to do something with what's left in their last 2 stones.
So final stone of the end from Anna O'Hara.
Whoa! No, curl.
Yeah, this is not one you want to be wide on. Well, it does
Sorry.
lose 2 of the yellows. Yellow sitting shot rock. Now Anderson's going to take that position under the center guard, the top of the 4-foot.
What's that?
I like to
And if
speed on
Delaney
this
Strouse
side
can
of it.
force, they're still in it.
Just right here. Split the 4 right here.
Yep.
So in-turn draw for Taylor Anderson. Trying to bury under the center guard, top 4-foot.
Choppy!
6-5.
Right here, girls.
How's line?
Top 4. Top 4. Can't go. Can't go.
Plenty of room now. We have seen sweepers get these to move quite a
Where?
bit.
Back tee.
No, leave it. Right here.
It should stop.
Right here.
Let's see where this ends up. If it's right next to the other
Hey.
yellow, could be interesting. Right on the button. Not bad.
Yeah, right on top. What did you click on hers? 13-8. You said 13?
Strauss
Yeah.
immediately electing
Get on.
play the freeze. They have 2:20 left on their clock and a timeout.
Sarah Anderson at 2:19 for her final 2 shots.
I got 13-8 on hers, so it might be just slowing up a hair here. Yeah. Yeah.
Delaney can lock this on at scoring space, as we talk about. Gets really small for Anderson.
14.
Looking for 14, they heard.
Second to last stone for Delaney Strouse. She'll try an in-turn
Line foot,
freeze.
top 4. Room. Lot of
Could
room.
go a long way to deciding this game.
Lot of room.
Pretty close to the same path
Lot of room.
as Taylor's, but needs to finish.
Straight. Come off that other one.
13-5, lot of weight, so
Go. Go.
need to figure out where they want to leave it now. So second count, but
Play this.
behind the other
Play
yellow.
what?
You mean you hit it?
Yeah.
Then she might have a double back.
I don't know if they,
And tap this
I
on
guess
the
they
nose
probably have to
and push this back.
Okay.
move the yellow to have a chance at getting second count. If you just nose tap,
Or what happens if we sit right here?
I think that's horrible. What if we tap it a little?
Well, if we tap it a little.
Okay.
And a little tap. Right here, right on the
Okay.
nose.
We're just gonna move this a
Just
little.
move it a touch.
What do you want to throw it back 12?
Just no, back 4. Back 4 back.
I think we can throw a little more to give you room enough to move this a little.
I think back.
Okay.
and I think this is the right call. If you nose tap your yellow and move that red a couple inches, you're going to be
Leah,
sitting
if it's
2.
hanging, go off the red.
Even
get
if
it roll away.
Strauss plays the double on the 2 stones that are count,
Back 4,
the
back
shooter rolls off. I think the other yellow still stays, and then it's a draw for 2 for the win. Just trying to get to nose with a back 8 type of weight, maybe back 12.
Two-time national champion Sarah Anderson against last year's runner-up Delaney Strouse.
Sarah's had a couple interns over curl.
Yep. Yep. Where? Yep.
Make sure we're on the nose.
Yep.
Make sure we're on the nose.
Yep. Keep going.
Line looks
Keep
close.
going. Come to nose. Yep. Let's go. Go, go,
Really
go.
want to
Forward.
move it a little bit
Forward.
to sit 2.
Okay.
That's really close to sitting 2 right now. Might have got a little fortunate crossing the face of it.
So I gotta make your decision quick.
Yeah.
That's not how they were trying to make that shot.
Same thing. I think so.
It's all about who's second right now.
It's close. Are they two? Well, that makes
The
a difference.
timeout for Delaney Strouse.
This is a tough spot now for Delaney.
You don't know. It's close.
In second?
It looks like us, but it's
2 or 3 different ways to move that stone.
Okay, okay. If you're confident it's us, then I think we just go there. Well, it's not going to be second, but this is second.
Yeah, that one.
We just can't move that one.
I think a quarter.
Otherwise, we can try to hit it.
We can hold it there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Okay, let's go to the nose. Nose in, yep. Are we shots?
Yeah. If she's heavy,
High. Yeah.
pushes it out.
I don't think you can play this shot.
So,
If they throw anything down on this line, regardless of if it doesn't move anything,
Yeah, I mean,
Anderson
I don't
can
know
come around on
what
the
else you
outturn
see.
side and double tap those yellows. They only have to move the red an inch to win the game. I think the only shot you have right now is to throw a split on
Yeah,
your
then what do you
center
wanna
guard and try to guard both shots. We move the center over about 4 or 5 inches, maybe a little more, and have the shooter roll away and try to cover up your own counter too.
I think we're
I
second.
don't know. What do you guys
It's a
think?
tricky little shot, but she's got 2 or 3 shots for the win here. I think the only way you take them all away
I think I like the freeze. Okay.
Well, maybe we're
is just to chip that guard over and have your shooter sit in front of the other
Got it,
2.
Lainey.
I don't think they've even looked at the outturn come around tap for Anderson. She's got a pretty good piece of that yellow stone.
You think we are? Let's stick it over here so we can see.
And she
Yeah, I
could
got
play
lots
it
of
with
time.
tap or hit if she wants to. Those yellows are never going anywhere.
Yeah, okay. Tap the yellows, fine. Just can't tap the red.
If you play this, you have to actually move that yellow stone, because if they stay lined up where they're at, it's just an easy tap for Anderson on the other side.
Line's
Last
good.
rock for Delaney Strouse.
Top 4. Really wide. Tons of
Line's
room.
good. Lot of room. Line's getting better.
Line's good.
Line's good. Just top 4. Line's perfect.
Trying to turn this over a little bit.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Needs to finish.
That's
You're
okay.
going to leave it short on that line.
Let me see that one.
So there is that outturn tap for Anderson. Just has to move that top stone at all.
It's this, or it's this. Okay. It's this.
Okay.
Room here. So,
What are you're gonna throw back 12?
back 12.
Sarah?
Yeah, you can make this with any weight you want. All you have to do is touch that yellow stone.
Thank you. Back 12.
So this will be an outturn tap for Sarah Anderson. Basically contact for the win.
Off the hack, last rock of the 10th. Can Sarah Anderson make this shot for a 7-6 win?
Whoa. Yeah.
Line looks good.
Oh, yes.
Curling now. It's getting close to the guard.
Jay, let's go.
Really close. And it's by.
Great job,
There's
Sarah.
your game winner. Great shot. Wonderful game both ways, back and forth shot making, a playoff caliber game. We'll be seeing these two on the weekend later on, maybe a rematch at some point. fantastic game for both sides. Congratulations to Team Anderson.
And Sarah Anderson with the win over both Delaney Strouse and Tabitha Peterson to go to 5-1. But a big win here for Sarah Anderson. Elsewhere, Miranda Shield over Rebecca Cousins 7-3. Elizabeth Cousins, excuse me. Kim Rhyme falls to Tabitha Peterson 10-3. And Christine McMakin takes care of Rachel Workin 7-5. And again, this one's 7-6. So Peterson and Anderson will go into draw 7 with 5-1 records, and this will make for a very interesting final day to see who gets those final spots in the playoffs. So it wraps up the Thursday here at the Rink and American Dream. We are back with you tomorrow morning. We have pair of draws on the men's side and the decisive 7th draw on the women's side. You can see 2 5-1 records for Anderson and Peterson. Anderson holding the tiebreaker over Peterson right now. Delaney Strouse at 4-2, Christine McMakin 3-3, and 2 teams at 2-4, or 3 rather, in Cousins, Rhyme, and Shield. So the matchups tomorrow: Workin against Anderson, Strouse, McMakin, Rhyme, Shield, and Peterson and Cousins. We start with you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central, and it will be Nicholas Connolly taking on Danny Casper in draw 6 on the men's side. For Tyler George and our entire crew, I'm Joe Tollison. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. All the best.